What's going on, guys? I'm Jeff, the Yoshi Fanatic, and welcome to part 1 of Yoshi's Woolly World, revisited after 10 years. Guys, I can't believe that this game is already 10 years old. We're gonna celebrate by playing this game yet again. This will be the third playthrough of Yoshi's Woolly World on this channel, including Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World. But you know what? I can't really get enough of this game. And something tells me that you guys are much the same. So welcome to the stream, everybody. Welcome to Golden Guy, Blues Cat's Ghost, Drip Nova, Mr. Face, Aurora, and Luke. Welcome to the stream, everybody. How are you all? How was your week? Yoshi's Gooey World, what the heck? That sounds like a game I don't want to play. I can't wait for mother freaking Plooch, says Drip. Nice. Hey Jeff, I decided to drop my custom Yoshi design in the community creations that I will use to play Woolly World in this stream. If you have time, can you check it out, please? Ooh, I did see it. It looked like a birthday cake. It made me want to eat more cake. Ooh, Woolly World. Lo amo tanto. Un saludo, bro. Welcome to the stream, Pana X. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Bienvenido. Aurora says, I think you're the only person on the planet that has observed the anniversary for this game. You know what? I'll take it. And you know, maybe somebody else had, celebrated the anniversary, like, a couple months ago for the, Japanese release, which is technically what I should have done. Me encanta tu español? I'm afraid that's all I got. I don't really speak Spanish. I know a couple key words, but that's about it. Avalon, fun fact, Drip Nova made me in Plooch and Yoshi's Woolly World. That's awesome. Papa Yoshi has more mainline games than Star Child Yoshi. Papa Yoshi, huh? That would be the Yoshi from Yoshi's Island, yes? Welcome to the stream, Yoshi Daffy Duck. How are you? Alright, anyway, let's get right to it, guys. Yesterday, here in the United States and the rest of the North American region, was this game's 10th birthday. And, yeah, that's nuts. I can't believe this game's 10 years old already. I remember this is probably the first game that I ever really followed closely since its announcement. I got very excited watching it in E3, I think it was 2013? Yoshi, 2013 E3 was, I think, when this game was announced. And, the game looked a little different back then. But I was following it, and its, developments for, you know, the 2 years that were leading up to its release. So, yeah, I bought the game, and I could not play it when I first got it. It had to sit on my shelf. It's not that I didn't have a Wii U or anything, I did, but I had another YouTube channel at the time, Volatile Upgrade. It was a video game playthrough channel, and I was waiting for my friend to come up to my apartment so that we could play this game 2-player, and, you know, do that for the channel. And it took a couple of weeks for him to get up there, and that was agonizing, just sitting there looking at this game on the shelf, waiting to open and play it. And when we did, I had a blast. So, hey, we got a couple more people. Or one more at least. What's going on, Curly? Welcome to the stream. 3DS check. Yoshi's Woolly World check. I'm ready to play Woolly World after keeping my Kirby Planet Robobot cartridge for months. Lol, says Golden Guy. There you go. Yes! Yoshi's Woolly World! Welcome to the stream, Cozy Yoshi. A way to describe the art style of Beta Woolly World is Yoshi's Epic Yarn. Yeah, pretty much. It looked a lot different. I'll be here for a sec. Well, I'll have you for as long as you'll be here, man. I'm glad to have you. Well, why don't we open this up, take a look at what's inside, which is a heap and load of nothing. I mean, I got the disc. It's upside down. What don't gives? There. There, Yoshi's Woolly World. And the Wii Quick Start Manual or whatever. Viewing the electronic manual. Yeah, that's a fun replacement for the instruction manuals, huh? And that's it. That's all that's in the box. They'd already long since abandoned manuals, I know. But it's fun to be nostalgic anyway, I guess. I think Topsy Turvy, the puzzle games, and Yoshi's Story are the only Yoshi games that have Star Child as the main lead. Says Yoshi Daffy Duck. Maybe the Mysterious Book too. We'll have to see how that turns out. Could I ever become a Discord mod for your server one day? Maybe, Cozy Yoshi. Maybe. Imagine if the disc got scratched right now. Please, no. Also, just a quick disclaimer. I do have this game digitally on the Wii U. I have a hacked Wii U. I ripped the game off the disc and did install it on my Wii U, but just to make sure I'm, doing everything properly, I am going to play the game off the disc. So I will go over and walk over and put this in the system. The only thing I'm not doing properly is I am digitally. The only thing I'm not doing properly is I will be playing with this controller. Having a hacked Wii U means I can use pretty much any Bluetooth controller, and this counts. So I will be using my my 8-bit Do SN30 Pro for this game. Just, I don't know, it feels right. But anyway, why don't I go ahead and slap this bad boy in the console, and we'll go ahead and get started. Well, you know what? Just so you can see that I'm putting it in the system, I'll keep the big camera on. I'll be right back. Don't come after me, Nintendo. You saw it. You saw I put the disc in the system. I own the game. I do. I'm playing it right off the disc. Sin, you shall not use any third-party demonic creations over the Wii U gamepad, the greatest controller of all time, JK. Yeah, I know, right? This best controller of all time, this. By the way, I am going to plan on using this for some amiibo functionality a little bit later in the stream, so I am keeping this over at my desk until the battery runs out. Probably won't take too long, to be honest with you. Okay. Hey Neil, what's going on? How are you doing? I'm doing pretty good, thanks for asking. Getting ready to start the first level at the same time as you start the first level, says Golden Guy. Sounds good. Nintendo, Yasaka, Poochie, and Yoshi's Woolly World HD, please. Yes, please. Honestly, I would love to have that game come to the Switch. Please. Or even the Switch 2 at this point. I'd rather it come out on the Switch, but best case scenario would be a Switch version with a free Switch 2 update, but when is Yoshi ever getting the best case scenario, you know? It was a trick. 10 years and still no Switch version. Yeah, that boggles my mind. Pretty much every other Wii U game has gotten a Switch version, you know? What's the deal with this one? Ivan says, hello, good night. I'm sticking for a bit today. Welcome to the stream, Ivan. That loading theme slaps. It's amazing. A lot of music in this game is amazing. Including the title theme. Just a lot of music in this game is stellar. I love the soundtrack of Yoshi's Woolly World. It's my birthday soon. Yay! Well, happy early birthday. Alright, so I think I'd better, this is the save file that I want to keep intact because it is the one that I did, or that I recorded my recent playthrough for my upcoming Yoshi's Island versus Yoshi's Woolly World video, so I'm not going to touch that one. This one I was playing with JJ, so I want to keep that one. So we're going to delete file 2, and we are going to be Pink Yoshi. For a little bit, anyway. Alright, let's get started. We are going in classic mode. I don't do mellow mode. Unless I'm playing with JJ. Then sometimes I'll let it slide. B-style, obviously, and patient mode. I like patient mode. It's on November, but thank you anyway. Oh, okay, November. Welcome to Craft Island, a tiny place in the middle of the handmade ocean. Mellow mode, bad! Life here for the Yoshi clan is nothing but peaceful and leisurely. Or rather, it had been nothing but peaceful and leisurely until... There's the naughty trickster. I'll get back to the comments in a little bit here.
Hello, little Yoshis. Sorry to drop in so suddenly, but I need to turn you all into yarn. Thanks.
You know, I can appreciate the brevity, straight to the point, but... yeah. We got an axe murderer on the loose.
At this rate, I'll be here through lunch. Come on, I'm busy. Everyone becomes yarn.
Apparently not the pink Yoshi, or the red Yoshi. They were already yarn. They probably could have phrased that a little bit differently. Although I feel like if they phrase it like, come on, everybody becomes dismembered, that might not fly so well.
There, this should be plenty. Well, I'd better get back. Toodles!
You know, again, he said everyone becomes yarn, yet he lets these two slide. I mean, I suppose we wouldn't have much of a game to play if he didn't, but come on.
Yeah, that's quite enough. I've had it with you annoying Yoshis.
Again, just wave that wand around. Don't take that out of context. I played File 2 on my first playthrough because I love Poshi, Pink Yoshi. Understandable, Drip Nova. Revisiting Woolly World for the third time, that's right. Third time this year. There's still hope. As Kamek flies away, he drops a handful of yarn. A rather important Yoshi meeting is held. What do we do to save the others? We need to get that yarn back. Hurry! After that naughty trickster. And so another grand Yoshi adventure begins. Will they be able to knit their friends back together? Onward, Yoshis. Technically, the shape of yarn he turned them into is called a skein. Skein? Skein? How do you pronounce that? Would you like this game to have a different villain that aren't related to Bowser? Yeah, probably. But, I don't know, it's not a deal breaker. The story in Yoshi games, aside from like Yoshi's Island and Yoshi's Island DS, really takes a backseat. Which, I don't always appreciate that, but hey-ho. I'm ready to start Yarn Yoshi Take Shape. Let's do it. Like Wart, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. Yes, I've sold you on Wart as being an antagonist in a future Yoshi game. That would be fantastic. Yarn Yoshi takes... It's like Stain. Oh, okay, so it's Skein. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. Oh, I probably should get back to some of the comments, right? One sec. Is Craft Island located in Craft World? I forget where they said it was located. Yo, what if I made the first Yoshi's Woolly World level in Little Big Planet 2? That would be sick, Drip Nova. Cozy Yoshi says, but also, Jeff, do you want to collab on my Yoshi's Island review redone? Because the old one was crap. Yeah, Jeff, do you want to collab? That could be fun. Yeah, you know, let me know if you are going to for sure do the video. And yeah, I'd be happy to collab with you. That sounds like fun. Okay, so for this playthrough of Yoshi's Woolly World, there really aren't going to be a lot of surprises for me. I played the game relatively recently, back in like May to June, I think is when I played this game for my eventually upcoming Yoshi's Island versus Yoshi's Woolly World video. So, you know, not a lot of surprises for me here, but Yoshi's Woolly World is always a great game to come back and play. I really don't get tired of this one. I might get tired of some things in it, but, you know, we'll get to that. You're not going to do every level 2 to 3 times? Disappointing. I will be. I probably will be. Because truth be told, even though I've played it recently, there still will be some secrets that I struggle to find. That said, I will not be using a power badge on any level for the first attempt unless they go on sale, or as As in, like, they're free to use. Like, you don't have to use any beads to use them. That's how the power badges in this game work, by the way. Like, you spend beads to use them. So, unless it's like, you know, you can use any power badge for free, that happens from time to time. I will not be using the power badges on my first go. I'm hoping to not play each level more than 2 to 3 times. That might be a little obnoxious. We'll see what happens, you know? Oh my, is this? It can't be! It's double! It's Yoshi! It must be double Yoshi Exploshi! Welcome to the stream, J-Dog. You know what, just because you said that, I do have this little guy. Why don't we load him in? Look at that. It's double Yoshi Exploshi! This could be a mess. Yeah, this is gonna be a mess. I don't know what they were thinking with this mechanic. The whole double Yoshi Exploshi thing. I really have no idea. Oh boy. Well, I guess I'm playing as this guy. Double Yoshi Explosion is real! Best Jeff moment of the year, if you say so. I want to be the pink Yoshi. No! Give me a second. Give me just one gall darn moment. No! There we go. Nope, hang on. And plop. Come on. Okay, there we go. Okay, now, there we go. I want to make sure we get full health. Simulates multiplayer chaos well. I mean, I guess. It's a little annoying if you ask me. Okay. DV says, also welcome to the stream, DV. What's your opinion on the 3DS port of this game? I thought it was a good port. But I do prefer the Wii U version overall. I think this game, like, a large part of the enjoyment with Yoshi's Woolly World overall is the aesthetics. Like, many people really adore the aesthetics, and honestly, at the time, I really did. I still like it, but it's kind of lost its, appeal for me, to some extent. Regardless, the point is that so much of this game's appeal is the aesthetic, and they really did have to cut back on that in the 3DS version of the game. Still, it was a very competent port. It worked well. I think they cut back in the right places. The game still feels very good to play. It's just a little uglier and cropped in. But the additions are nice. I really do like the, the updated minigames with Poochie. The minigames in the Wii U version are a little bit, well, underwhelming, I'll say. But the Poochie Rush levels, or the Poochie Run levels, they were a lot of fun. I thought that was a good addition. And obviously the customized Yoshis, that is probably the biggest perk of Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World, in my mind. So, I think it's really good. I think the Wii U version is probably the more pure experience. It's not like the 3DS version has extra levels that you're not getting. But, I don't know. I think the 3DS version is good. I think I just prefer the Wii U version. I do wish, though, that there was a Switch version that had all the content of the 3DS version and the graphical fidelity of the Wii U version. I think that would be the way to go, but that version doesn't exist at this time. So, well, it might exist, but it's not on the market. You can't buy it. No way! Jeff Yoshi stream! This is Solar Flare. Welcome to the stream, Solar Flare. How are you? He's smooth. He is! We got the non-yarn Yoshi. Also, Jeff, I've changed my profile pic and my PNG now being a human being and my Yoshi design combined, and I really like it. I thought that was a nice touch, like a Yoshi hat on your avatar. That was cool. Double Yoshi Exploshi. Currently going to bring my Yoshi amiibo to get the double Yoshi Exploshi actions, says Golden Guide. There you go. Amiibo is essentially double cherry from 3D World, but you have to pay for it. Lol. That's a good way to put that, for sure. The annoying part is part of the accuracy. Yeah, yes it is. That means the star child in this game, that non-Yarn Yoshi, is Yoshi from the future. There you go, sure. Jeff, how was your week? It was something, Solar Flare. I'll just say it was something. But things are looking up. How are you? DV says, speaking of, I'm shocked this never got a Switch port. It would go hand in hand with Crafted World. I think it would be a fantastic addition to the Switch. Jeff, I pulled up for a Nathaniel Bandy members only stream. Oh, okay. And he was like, oh, Solar Flare, it's been like 2 years. He knows me and thinks of me. How sweet. That is awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Wii U version, obviously, right? Not a big screen top and only DS version. What? Wii U version, obviously, right? Not a big screen top, only DS version. Yeah, sure. I do like the Wii U version quite a bit. The Yoshi hut just appeared on Craft Island. Who's in there? Why don't we go look? Week was great. I'm glad to hear that, Solar Flare. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so let's go back to Craft Island real quick and go into this here Yoshi hut. Now we have amiibos. Wait, hang on. Never mind, this is the wrong hut. We got Flower Yoshi. Hooray! I'm considering a new career path despite having 2 years to think. It's between business and going into the Army Academy. Interesting. What made you think of a different career path? I'm curious. Okay, here we go. The Amiibo Hut. Once you load an Amiibo, its design will live here. So come anytime to swap your design. So at any point, now that I've double Yoshi Explosied with the Yoshi Amiibo. Patriotism. Oh, there you go. Okay. That checks out. But yeah, since I have the Yoshi Amiibo and I scanned it, now I can come here and choose this Amiibo anytime I want. This Amiibo skin anytime I want. And an interest in military combat and tactics and whatnot. Okay, there you go. Fair enough. The army is like always the last thing I've wanted to do, like as a career choice. Like only if I were drafted would I ever go, because I have a fear of dying. I would rather be alive. Scan a regular Yoshi Amiibo. What will happen? This was for the regular Yoshi Amiibo. This is the Smash Bros. Yoshi Amiibo. If you mean the Yarn Yoshi Amiibo, doesn't really do much of anything. Kind of just does another double Yoshi. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking of it, that's an interesting question. Like, we don't have Green Yoshi unlocked yet. Let's go check. And what about the huge Yoshi Amiibo? Sadly, I do not have the huge Yoshi Amiibo. But what if Yoshi told you to do it for him? Probably still not, honestly. I have a feeling that Yoshi would not impel me to join the American military. I just have that feeling. Alright, I am going back to the level 1 quick just to test something out. Going to the academy would make me an officer, which means I would not be on the front lines. Oh, okay. Yeah, anytime I think military, I think the front lines. And I think of how much I would not like being on the front lines. Alright, let's go ahead and plop this Yoshi on here. Oh, whoa. I forgot I had an amiibo saved on there. Or an amiibo costume saved on there. It's like the blue bubblegum Yoshi. That's interesting. Huh. Alright, well now we can exit the level. I forgot I had one saved on there. This is such a throwback to Prime Jeff. A throwback to Prime Jeff? What are you talking about? Are you meaning to imply that I'm beyond my prime? Yeah, you're probably right. Hola, Pana X, welcome. Hello. I know I already said hello to you. Yeah, maybe I am beyond my prime. I'm just older, that's probably it. Okay, sure. Here we go. Yarn Yoshi. Okay, so any custom amiibo costume that is loaded on your Yoshi amiibo, you can load it in here. But I believe you can only do one at a time. Is Prime Jeff volatile upgrade? Goodness, no. Volatile upgrade was definitely not my Prime. Absolutely not. I've really stepped into the live streaming role and kind of content creation role as part of this channel. Volatile upgrade, I had a lot of fun, but by no means was it my Prime. Absolutely not. Yoshi! Welcome to the stream, El Guapo Dad. Right now, we're in Jeff Alpha. So does that mean the best is yet to come? Are Biker and regular Wario both in this game? No, I think it's just Wario. Actually, no, now that I think of it, I don't know if Wario is in this game. I don't have his amiibo, so I wouldn't be able to tell. Let me check. List of Yoshi designs in Yoshi's Woolly World. Let's see if Wario's in this list. Wow. Any Wario amiibo, Wii U, Wario Super Smash Bros. It is the biker Wario costume. That's what you get if you scan any Wario amiibo. Is that one. That's so funny. Back to the action. Yeah, I don't have most of the amiibos, so yeah, no, Wait a minute, hang on. Wait a minute. I'm so confused. Oh, Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World. You can get the Wario amiibo from, just, straight up Wario. But it's only in Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World. That's interesting. Any Wario amiibo. That's interesting. Huh. The more you know. Back to the action. Oh yeah, did you see what I said, says J-Dog? I don't think so, hang on. Jeff, I'm happy to have sent you my updated Pro redesign. It came to me out of nowhere, and has finally made me happy with him design-wise. Was wondering what you thought. I haven't gotten a chance to look at it yet, J-Dog. I'll let you know later. Or I guess I could check now. Do you want me to show it on stream? Were there any games that got re-released on 3DS that later went to Switch? Yes. Well, kind of. Hyrule Warriors is the one that I can think of. There might be a couple more. No, you can just look at it. Okay, I'll take a look at it later. I guess Country Returns HD. That one too, yeah, good point. There's a couple. I feel like Mysterious Book isn't going to make a big splash next year. The game seems so simple from the look of the trailer, says Ivan. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how it's going to land. I know I'm excited to play it, and I'm really looking forward to trying it out. And sharing what I think. Also Captain Toad. There you go. There's a few examples. It was interesting though, the 3DS version and Switch version of Captain Toad came out at the same time. Anywho, so yeah, I don't know how Yoshi and the Mysterious Book is going to be received. But things seem promising. I just Googled Yoshi and the Mysterious Book recently to get kind of a feel as to like how people are feeling about it. Like what the general response has been. And it seems to be pretty positive right now. Like headlines that I looked at, I didn't actually read any articles, but the headlines that I looked at were like, this game is gorgeous. Well, that's pretty much the main sentiment, is just how it looks, which in fairness, you're right. Like the gameplay looks fairly straightforward. Okay, straightforward, yes. But interesting and unique, also yes. I'm really looking forward to seeing what that game has to offer. I honestly did not know there was a 3DS version of Captain Toad. Yeah, that makes sense, because like I said, it came out at the same time as the Switch version, so it kind of got buried. And it was an interesting... I'm gonna call it interesting version of the game. I didn't play it. I think I played the demo, actually. But... the game screen is shown on both the top and the bottom screen. As in, like, your view of Captain Toad is the same on both screens. Like, it's double vision, essentially. And that seems a little silly to me. I guess the idea was so that you could, do, like, the puzzles and stuff and interact with, you know, stuff on the bottom screen. Because the top screen was not a touch screen. And, that might be how it worked in the Wii U version. I never played the game. I thought about getting it on the Switch, but I didn't want to drop $40 on it. But, yeah. I guess there's a few examples of games that have gone from Wii U to the 3DS and then to the Switch later. There's certainly precedent for it. And the one I always look at, and the one I always cite when thinking about the probability of this game coming to the Switch, is Hyrule Warriors, because it's a very similar situation. The game came out on Wii U first, then it came out on the 3DS with some additional content, and then it came out on the Switch with all of the content. It was actually called Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, if I remember correctly. And it had all the content from the Wii U and 3DS version, and I think some extras on top of that. So, yeah. That sort of practice definitely has some precedent. And I would love to see that sort of thing happen with Yoshi and Yoshi's Woolly World. Obviously, Yoshi's not as big of a franchise as, you know, or as big of a series as The Legend of Zelda. Very obviously. But, you know, the precedent is there, it's not impossible, and I'm still holding out hope. That quote-unquote leak from the April Switch 2 Nintendo Direct loses credence with me the longer we wait to hear anything more about it. Because, to people's credit, who have pointed this out, in the North American Nintendo Direct, it did show Yoshi's Woolly World box art for games that were on the Switch that would also be compatible with the Wii U. I'm sorry, with the Switch 2. And Yoshi's Woolly World was shown. And there isn't a Switch version of Yoshi's Woolly World. So it's like, ooh, did they leak it? But then in other regions, it did just show Yoshi's Crafted World. So it's equally likely that it was just a mistake. So yeah, I don't really know. I still think it's reasonably, well, it's possible. I'll continue to say it's possible. I don't know how likely it is. But I think it would be great. Obviously, I think it would be great. Funny that Captain Toad from 3DS still had the Odyssey levels from what I remember. Oh, that is cool. That's interesting, too. Captain Toad was sent to the 3DS to die, says TV. Yeah, I don't know why they even bothered with that version, to be honest. As happy as I am for Yoshi getting a new game, I'll admit, it being the last announcement for a Mario Anniversary Direct segment is definitely a choice, since Yoshi's seen as a baby game these days. You know, yeah, I guess, but Yoshi is also, part of the Mario brand, you know? So I'm not too upset that he was, that game was shown as part of the Mario Anniversary. But it kind of does just show that they really don't have anything big for Mario this year, other than Galaxy 1 and 2, which, you know, great, but, you know, it's not new. Hang on. Let's see, did I get everything? I believe so. Yes, I did. Doink. I think Nintendo needs to do something different. I never hear other people talking about the Yoshi games. Oh yeah, true. I'm hoping that the Mysterious Book will kind of turn things around. I'm hoping that it'll be like an interesting enough game for at least some people to talk about it for a little bit, you know? Going to take a break on playing Woolly World right now so I can do whatever I feel like it, says Golden Guy. Okay, go ahead. I'm back. Got myself some popcorn, says Mr. Face. Awesome. Sit back, relax, enjoy your popcorn as I continue to enjoy Yoshi's Woolly World. I tried watching a video essay about a content farm channel that steals puppet videos and makes marathons, but had disturbing backgrounds and I got too scared. To elaborate, it got into the channel replacing video segments with AI and generative AI videos, especially at the time of the video. Physically grossed me out just the way things move, and it got scary, so I wussed out. Yeah, that sounds interesting, Solar Flare. That sounds interesting. I don't know if Mysterious Book is releasing next to the Mario Galaxy movie because Yoshi is in the movie, but I guess it's a possibility. That's not unreasonable. They do say spring for Yoshi in the Mysterious Book, so. Guess we'll just have to wait and see. Content farms are the Lucifer of YouTube. That and like in the YouTube Shorts segment of YouTube where people just steal other people's content and then just like have it take up half of the video screen and then the other half is like someone cutting soap. Yeah. Content thieves. I hate content thieves. Anytime I come across one of those, I just instantly skip it. Doesn't matter if the thing in the other half of the video is interesting or not. I don't want to support content thieves. Even then, I think Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 had more to do with the Mario movie than the 40th anniversary. Yeah, and like there are amiibos coming up for like there are the Mario Galaxy amiibos that are coming out like around the movie's release. But still, the new Yoshi game being around Mario Galaxy's the Mario Galaxy movie and the fact that Yoshi is in that movie, I don't see it as being like it could be a coincidence, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was planned out that way. Like, yeah, Yoshi doesn't really have much to do with the Mario Galaxy sort of. Well, I mean, yeah, Yoshi's in the movie, but I don't know how much that actually has to do with the release. But, you know, it could be like, hey, look, this Yoshi character is a new addition to the Mario movie, and guess what? He has a new game coming out. I don't think it's, like, unreasonable for that to be, you know, a strategy. We'll see. The time frame does at least line up very well, I'll say that. I like the half-cut soap videos with Family Guy clips on the top, but not other content. I see a lot of like Mike Tyson or like Joe Rogan or stuff like that, in that sort of content thief format. That's what I tend to see a lot of. Mike Tyson? No. Neil deGrasse Tyson. My bad. Mike Tyson. Jeepers. They share a last name. What can I say? Oh wait, or no, hang on. DeGrasse Tyson is like a hyphenated last name. That always confuses me. Wally World! Says Brainpick. Hello, Brainpick! Welcome to the stream! How are you, friend? Yes, welcome to part 1 of Yoshi's Woolly World Revisited 10 years later. How are you? Mike Tyson is crazy. Yeah, no, it wasn't Mike Tyson. It was Neil deGrasse Tyson. My bad. He kneeled the grass? I hope it recovered. Thought I heard one of my kids crying. Okay. Oh my goodness, this game is so nostalgic. Love being a Wii U kid at heart. I loved my Wii U. I still do, obviously. I'm playing on it right now. I don't know how nostalgic I am for the Wii U. But well, you know what? I think I can be nostalgic about it. It was the first home console that I ever purchased for myself. I don't really count the Wii because, you know, my sisters and I bought that together. Even though I did contribute the most. Like, I contributed $100 towards it, and like the rest of the family contributed the other 100. But yeah, I don't count that as me buying that console myself. The Wii U was the first one I completely bought by myself, for myself, and yeah. I guess I can be nostalgic about it for that reason. It was also my first Black Friday outing ever. That was a fun memory. Jeff. Ah, yes, an opportunity to get people hooked on Yoshi, finally. Could be. Maybe that's what I'm so optimistic about. Let's see. This cave reminds me of the Bone Dragon stage in Yoshi's Story, says Blue Scat. There you go. That's an interesting reference. Like, I hadn't thought about that. I do love that level, though. It's probably my favorite one of the page 2 levels in Yoshi's Story. Maybe it's because it's the easiest. Like Blarg's Boiler or whatever it's actually called. That level was a pain just because, well, insta-kill death is very common in that level, and then the other two are like the pipe mazes, which they're alright, but I'm not as big a fan of them. Jeff, I've started a show called Attack on Titan. It's pretty popular. I don't know if you've heard of it, but might dip to watch an episode, then be back. Not leaving for a bit, though. Yeah, I've definitely heard of Attack on Titan. I haven't seen it myself. I don't watch a ton of anime, but, you know, I know it's popular, and I'm sure it's for a good reason. I feel like this game in Yoshi's Island has the best OST of the series, though I give an edge to the SNES Classic. I love a lot of songs in that game, especially the underground theme, says Ivan's Own. I have to give the edge to Yoshi's Woolly World. Like, I look at it this way. I think I like the songs themselves more in Yoshi's Island, but I like more of the songs in Yoshi's Woolly World because just there's so many of them, and like all of them are so good. Well, maybe not all of them. Like, I think that I like the songs in Yoshi's Island better, but the fact that there are more songs that are almost as good in Yoshi's Woolly World, if not just as good, frankly, they're very good. It's just kind of awesome that they managed to have such a great soundtrack in this game. Like, Yoshi's Island went quality over quantity. Yoshi's Woolly World picked quality and quantity, which is awesome. You'll love to see that. The Bone Dragon level used to scare me when I was a kid, but that was nothing compared to the horror that was Blarg's Boiler, says Blue Scat. Yeah, that one... Oh, yep. I totally meant to do that. That one, just the lava being everywhere and so easy to fall into, that sucked. That sucked. Very stressful level, but it was like, other than that, it was a good level. I thought. Just really stressful to play. I'm getting the Switch 2 soon, says Cozy Yoshi. I hope you enjoy it, friend. I also picked up a Switch 2, but haven't played it because that is my family's big Christmas present this year, and I cannot wait to see JJ's reaction when he opens that on Christmas Day. Like, anytime he sees a Switch 2 in stores or, like, in a magazine or something like that, he's like, oh, we should get the Switch 2 for Christmas, and I always have to tell him, I don't know, bud, it's really expensive, I wouldn't get your hopes up. Little does he know that we have a Switch 2 sitting somewhere in our house, in an undisclosed location. I cannot wait for him to see it, to open it, and, yeah. I imagine that his reaction will be very similar to the Nintendo 64 kid from, like, 1998. Oh, you got yours? That's honorable, says Solar Flare. So, here's the deal. Like, I know I've been against getting a Switch 2, but at the same time, I wouldn't say it's honorable. I'd say that I've sacrificed on my morals, and I'm not stoked about that. But I also did say in the streams where I complained about the Switch 2, that I would inevitably have to get one when the new Yoshi game releases. And I decided to just bite the bullet now that a new Yoshi game has been announced. I wasn't anticipating that happening for, like, you know, 2 years yet, but it happened a lot sooner than I expected. And as a result, I decided to just bite the bullet now before the prices inevitably go up. And I found one on Craigslist that hadn't yet been opened. The Craigslist lister said that, you know, he bought it for his kid, and his kid decided that, that she didn't want it. Like, it was gonna be a Christmas present, but then, you know, she decided that she didn't want it. She was happy with her PlayStation 5. So he sold it for $450. It was the Switch 2 Mario Kart bundle. And yeah, he sold it for 450 bucks. So I got it on sale basically. So $50 off the MSRP, and I did not have to pay $40 in tax. So I saved $90 buying it secondhand. And I also didn't give my money directly to Nintendo, so win-win for me. But yeah, still not stoked about it. I'm sure I'll enjoy it, but I'm not crazy about the fact that I had to get a Switch 2 so soon. Jeff, you can tell me I ain't no snitch. Ooh, Pac-Man Ball, says Blues Cat. Now all you gotta do is resist the temptation to play it early. Yeah, I know. It's sitting up there. I could get Mario Kart World on it at any time. But no, it has to stay locked away in its box as though I hadn't opened it. I even put all of it back in its like I got it out to look at it, to handle it, turn it on, make sure it worked. Check for scratches and any of that. It truly was like, it wasn't even open box. Like the guy didn't even open it. Like when I met him, I asked if I could open it, and he said, well, you know, like it's not even opened yet. Like it's brand new, and if you open it, it won't be brand new anymore. So are you sure you're gonna buy it? And I said, well, if it's what you said in the listing, then yes, I'm going to buy it. But anyway, I opened it, I confirmed it, it all looked pristine. And yeah, I turned it off before I finished or before I got through the first setup of it, because it said that if you wanted to transfer your Switch 1 data over, you couldn't do it later. It had to be during the initial setup process. So, you know, I put it back in the box, and now the temptation to go play it is pretty much gone, because I'd have to do the system transfer at the point where I turned it on and set it up, so can't really play it right now. Mario Yoshi says, wait, Woolly World is 10 years old? Goodness, I'm getting old. Also, how is Woolly World not on the Switch yet? Welcome to the stream, Mario Yoshi. I concur. It should have a Switch version, and I'm still holding out hope for one. But, you know, for some reason Nintendo has a vendetta against Yoshi, sometimes it feels like. That's a little melodramatic. But, you know, Yoshi's Woolly World is one of the only Wii U games that has not yet been ported to the Switch. And I feel like it really should be. Make sure he doesn't watch your stream, says Ivan. Yeah, no, he doesn't. It's the Yoshi game that got him. It is. I got a Switch 2 for my birthday this year, says Mr. Face. That is an excellent birthday present. Nintendo, after creating a Yoshi game to silence their biggest Switch 2 critic. I'm definitely not the Switch 2's biggest critic. That honor would probably have to go to Nintendine. Hate to ask this again so soon, but could you read my life update I put up above? It kind of along the lines of Solar says. Okay, let me see. I guess to update other stuff, I'm finally talking to family about mental health, and I'm gonna start talking to online therapists my college provides. To sum it up, I'm in my head too much and overthink everything, causing me to forget who I am at heart, says J-Dog. Man, that's deep. I really do hope you can figure that out, J-Dog. That's, you know, mental health is important, and it's no fun to talk to therapists, I'm sure, but I hope it goes well for you. I really do. I think the Switch 2 console itself is fairly priced, along with DK Bonanza. It's everything else that's iffy, to be light about it, says Mario Yoshi. Yeah, I'll get back to that in just a second. I agree wholeheartedly with you, but I do want to elaborate on that just a bit. By the way, yesterday I started playing Pokemon ZA, and it's actually pretty fun. I will say though, still feels like the game only being in Lumio City is stupid, says Brainpick. Well, I don't really know anything about Pokemon, so, you know, I haven't even like looked up reviews or anything for that game. But that sounds like a bummer, considering Arceus was more open world sort of thing, or at least was broader in scope. Meanwhile, mine was bought from Shop My Exchange at a good discount. There you go, Mr. Face. Oh, just realized I didn't write any name on it earlier. Well, I was talking. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Jeff, if you have the time, will you join the VC in Discord? Not this evening, no. It'll be 2 a.m. by the time I'm done streaming. So, yeah, probably not tonight. Tomorrow, yes. Bro, someone in my class made a 6-7 shrine during English class. Jeepers. Yoshi Dark Ages. Hey, Kyle, welcome to the stream. Hello there. I can't stay for more than a second because I gotta get up ultra early tomorrow, but I just wanted to say hi. Well, I appreciate that, Kyle. I hope tomorrow goes well for you. And thanks for hopping in and saying hello. The carpet bumps remind me of those slug, ghost, and jelly pipe of Yoshi stories, says Blues Cat. A lot of Yoshi story love. I like that. Happy Woolly World anniversary. Adore this game and its soundtrack. I agree. South Park made an episode of 67 Brain Pick. An episode about 67. What the heck? They rearranged the desks to form a 6-7. That's so funny. Thanks a lot. I'm actually excited. I need to socialize. Okay. This evening. What? It's 4 a.m. here. This is Cozy Yoshi. I know. You guys are like, what, 6 hours ahead of us? 5 hours? I can't stop listening to Hatsune Miku. I've been addicted all week. Well, there you go, Cozy Yoshi. I mean, Hatsune Miku's pretty popular. I can't really judge you for that. Alright, getting back to Mario Yoshi's comment about the Switch 2. Yeah, I agree. It took me a little bit to get used to the whole hardware price situation, and I don't think it's perfect for the price. Like, I've kind of been won over by the argument that, you know, the bill of materials for the Switch 2's price is actually around $400, so... Or, yeah. And Nintendo does not sell their consoles at a loss. Or was it like $440? Regardless, it was actually pretty close to the MSRP. And Nintendo does not sell their hardware at a loss, so... And also, the Switch 2 is more capable than I think most of us thought it was going to be. I think early on, people were saying it was like gonna be between a PS4 and a PS4 Pro, or like a handheld PS4 essentially. And I think that's fairly accurate. Like in terms of, well, I don't even know if it's raw horsepower, but in terms of like performance, it ends up being between like a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox Series S. So, pretty good, honestly. For being like a handheld tablet-based console, I think that that's honestly pretty darn good. And there have been people who bemoan the fact that it's not as powerful as like PlayStation 5 or any of that, and I'm just thinking like, what were you guys expecting? It's a tablet. Were you really expecting it to have the performance of a PlayStation 5? Buddy, if you want that kind of performance, get yourself an Xbox, what is it? An Xbox ROG Ally X. Like, that's about as close as you're gonna get. And that sucker's $1,000. So, yeah. A tablet for $450 that has the performance of a PlayStation 5? Nah. Get out of happy rainbow land and imaginary world. But no, like, the Switch 2 is it's a pretty good performing system for what it is. And it kind of justifies the price in that way. There are definitely some drawbacks to it. And keep in mind, I don't have any, like, personal experience with it yet. Like, I've turned it on, but other than that, I don't have any, like, playtime with the Switch 2. But I've heard that the LCD screen is, well, obviously it's a step back from the Switch OLED. Like, the Switch OLED is way better in comparison. It's a bigger screen, but it's also 1080p, so that's pretty cool. It being 1080p, that's definitely a good upgrade over the Switch 1. Though I think anything less than that, we would have been disappointed. 120 frames per second, or 120 hertz screen, that's great. But it's also a very, very long response time for the screen refresh. Like, it's on the cusp of being bad by most modern standards. Like, it takes a while for the screen's pixels to actually, like, refresh, if you will, when the screen updates. It's like something like, what was it, like 17 or 25 milliseconds or something for a pixel to properly change over. Which is, it sounds like it's not that much, but it does create ghosting, is what I've heard. And ghosting is basically just when, like, you see kind of like a trail of anything moving on the screen behind it if you look closely enough. Like the screen kind of, or like the image stays on the screen for just a split second. And apparently it's especially clear in like NSO games on like Super Nintendo. So that's not great. $450 being spent and the screen is a big downgrade from the Switch OLED. That's definitely a bummer. But other than that, like the hardware was, you know, it's pretty good, honestly. Likewise with the games, yeah, I think most of us have a big problem with $80 games. We were expecting, most of us anyway, I think, we're expecting games to be $70 this generation. So it's not the $70 games that are getting me, it's the $80 ones. And someone brought this up in the Discord saying, you know, Tears of the Kingdom was $70 on the Switch, but, you know, that didn't end up like affecting other games for the most part. And I kind of agreed, and I'm like, well, yeah, but you know, Tears of the Kingdom came out 6 years into the Switch's lifespan, and Mario Kart World was released at $80 right off the rip. That's not a good sign. So yeah, the $80 games, definitely a big bummer. The game key cards, oh my goodness, how prevalent they are, sucks. Is there anyone who advocates for game key cards? And if so, I have to ask why. Game key cards seem purely like the unhappy middle ground between physical and digital games. I don't see much of a benefit. Like, yeah, oh boy, whew, that was close. Yeah, you can like lend the games easier. You can sell them if you get tired of them, that sort of thing. But when the servers go down, they're worthless. You can lose the game key cards. It still takes up space on your system's internal memory. I hate game key cards. I hate them so much. And the fact that they're so prevalent this generation just sucks. I will not be buying a lot of third-party games for the Switch 2, that's for sure. Yes, shareholders love game key cards. Oh yeah, well, I'm sure. No, I mean from like a consumer standpoint. But yeah, other than that, like, it really is the game prices, the game key cards, and just Nintendo just generally being greedy this generation that's really got me in a funk. Like, the Switch 2 editions of Switch games, oh my goodness, what a cash grab. Even, like, the biggest one so far, Kirby and the Forgotten Land with its DLC, I've heard that it's not as exciting as people thought it was going to be, which is a bummer. They should consider selling their hardware at a loss. I agree, considering just how much money they make on the games, my goodness. But yeah, let me catch up on some comments. Some kid is set for life by literally just saying 6'7". Hey, I hardly pay any attention to memes anymore, so I know nothing about the 6'7" meme. Yeah, and I'm old, so I kind of understand where it comes from, but I don't understand why it's funny. Go to your watch later and sort by date published oldest. Everything you added by accident. I'll be back in a bit. Everything you added by accident. I don't add anything to my watch later list by accident. Like, I clear it out whenever I watch the videos, so I have like 5 in my watch later list. I'll be back in a bit. Enjoy Attack on Titan? I think that's what you said you were gonna go watch. I'll say that the price for the Switch 2 console by itself is pretty fair. Mostly the only Switch 2 pricing that I think is justifiable. Yeah, I agree. I wasn't stoked about it being $450, but I kind of came around to the idea eventually. Even Yoshi in Imaginary Rainbow World thinks that's impossible, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. Also, the 6'7" kid started some Bitcoin stuff. Oh, jeez. He's obviously pulling a rug pull. Game keycards are so pointless. Agreed. Sorry, I'm gone. 'Twas doodlin'. That is a fair use of your time, Drip Nova. You're very good at doodlin'. Mario Yoshi says, Nintendo's getting cocky is what's happening. They're trying to repeat history with the Nintendo Switch 1, which is not really how that works. The historical precedent has shown when a video game company gets cocky, bad things start to happen. PlayStation 3, Wii U. Very different levels of failure, but yeah. Yeah, for sure. Nintendo getting cocky is not great. We'll see how that ends up for them in the long run. Good note, thanks to the Switch 2, the new Pokemon game runs really good. Yeah, all it took was a $450 new console for the Pokemon games to be playable. The bosses in Woolly World are extremely disappointment. Like, I think over half of the bosses are repeated, says Golden Guy. You are not wrong, Golden Guy. I'll get to that in a little bit. Why don't we go ahead and fight this guy?
Is that you, Yoshi baby? You can chase me, but you're not getting the yarn back. Say hello to Big Montgomery and say goodbye to your chances of winning.
Microsoft paid the hardest by getting cocky.
Yeah.
People are talking about them getting out of the console race. I don't know if that's gonna happen like this gen or this upcoming generation or what. They've said that they're still you know, making a new console next gen. And people are like, yeah, okay, we'll see. That's like the general sentiment I've seen around that one. They definitely overuse the Monty Mole and Koopa way too much, says DV. Yeah, only like 5 of the bosses are truly unique to this game, I think. And like you said, 3 of them are reused. Like they reuse the Koopa boss essentially from Yoshi's Island. They reuse Bert the Bashful. They reuse the Piranha boss. They reuse Baby Bowser. So that's a bunch of them right there. And then Monty Mole and Koopa, you fight them both 3 times a piece. The only ones that are truly unique to this game are Monty Mole here, Big Montgomery, the Bunsen the Hot Dog, Miss Cluck the Insincere, Sniffberg the Unfeeling. Who else? There's one more, I feel like. There's one more. I feel like I'm missing it. Jeepers. What was the other one? I feel like there was at least one more. Can't think of it. So there's only like 4 or 5 bosses that are truly unique to this game that aren't real. Like, yeah, 4 or 5 bosses that are like brand new, unique to this game, and one of them gets reused 3 times. That's nuts. I'm gonna be Hot Cocoa Yoshi. People never fully trusted them again after Don Matrick. Oh, Microsoft? Yeah. And like, I liked Phil Spencer, but I don't know. He's fallen through on so many things he said that it's like, it's tough to trust him, you know? True, the new Pokemon game is run at a pretty stable FPS. Still, Scarlet and Violet graphics kind of suck. Fun games though. Yeah, considering Pokemon Company is like, well, Pokemon is like the biggest earner as far as like IPs in the world. That's kind of unforgivable. Just the state of Pokemon and just awful. Love Kamek in this game. He looks like a hand puppet, says J-Dog. From what I've seen, Microsoft just doesn't have much anymore exclusives-wise. Not to mention, they really badly messed up with Game Pass. Yeah, I remember when you could buy a box of Pop-Tarts and get Game Pass for a month. Pokemon is pure greed, sadly, says Aurora. Yeah, makes Nintendo look innocent. It does make a bit of sense as mid-bosses, in my opinion. The mid-bosses in Yoshi's New Island games, except Yoshi's New Island, to me, always felt like big bosses. I think I prefer that, to be honest with you. Like, you know, smaller bosses by their nature, you know, they're not like big and exciting like the big end world bosses, but still like unique. I think I prefer that, to be honest with you. Bringing back Naval Piranha was worth it for the oh my Easter egg reference. Yeah, for sure. That was definitely a good reference. I appreciate that, and we will be taking a look at that later in the playthrough. Not tonight. I probably won't get to World 4 tonight. I guarantee I won't get to World 4. I'll probably get through World 2, and that's about it. If that, honestly. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Ah, an eggplant. Miss Cluck the Insincere is such a funny name, but then I realized it's because she fakes being a big mama chicken, so she's a catfish. She's insincere. Noted. Don't talk about my favorite franchise on stream. Oh, Pokemon? I mean, yeah, Pokemon just has a general negativity around it. I'm sorry to say, but, you know, my general, you know, apathy towards Pokemon doesn't really help things. Pokemon's just not my thing. Doesn't help that I wasn't allowed to play it as a kid. But like now that I'm adult, now that I am an adult, I have zero interest in it. So I don't mind bashing on it. Don't take any of these as like personal attacks, J-Dog. We're upset with the Pokemon Company, and Pokemon fans like you deserve better. That's what we're saying. The music is, on 1.5 is very relaxing, at least for me, says Golden Guy. I keep coming back to Nitty Naughty Windmill Hill, aka level 1.5, as being my favorite music in this game. It's just, how I've described it a couple of times on streams now, is that it's very much like laying in a hammock for me. It is impossible to listen to this song and not relax. This music is so pleasant. Oh my goodness, it's pleasant. I mean, doesn't this just lull you? Like, this is such calming, relaxing music. I love it. It's also funny how the mid-bosses in Yoshi's Island DS were harder than the big bosses. Yeah, that is a little silly. I feel like in Yoshi's Island it was at least a little bit more balanced in that way. Like, you know, the bigger bosses were more difficult in general. Do you have a hammock to lay in and listen to the music? I do. I almost never lay in it. I just don't get the time. I mean, with children, like if I go lay in the hammock to just relax, they will climb in it with me. That's what's going to happen. I do have a cute picture of me in the hammock with all three of my kids. I should see if I can find it. Hang on, give me a sec. This is nostalgic music. Yeah, let me see if I've got a picture. I know Sky has sent me one. I don't want to send a message. I don't know if I can see pictures that she sent me on. Hang on. Hang on. I think I might have to actually open up my phone for this. 1 second. I really, really want to find this. It's an adorable picture, so I really do want to show it on stream. Here we go. There it is. I'm gonna download this. I'm gonna open it. You know what, maybe I'll just show it right here on my phone. It's the less good way of doing it, but it might just be the more reliable way. Me trying to navigate modern technology. There you go. Big camera mode. Big camera mode, I say. There's a picture of me in my hammock with all three of my kids. My kids are adorable. But they don't really let me just relax and enjoy my hammock. They have a tendency to get in the hammock and just swing around and, well, I can't really relax much. Real, I love Nitty Naughty Windmill Hill. It's so sowing autism? Oh, sure. Daw, says Mario Yoshi. It really is cute. They loved that hammock. Unfortunately, I had to take it down because they kept, like, going crazy on it. Nah, it's cool. Actually, I wouldn't say the graphics thing is completely true for the new game. Besides the flat buildings, all the characters in Pokemon are revamped and look really great and polished. Graphics in Pokemon is a thing that doesn't bother my enjoyment. I still think, J-Dog, that they should be, like, holy cow, it's the biggest earning IP in the world. You deserve something that looks better than a PlayStation 3 game, I'll be honest with you. And again, it's not personal attacks on you, it's nothing to do with you, it's the Pokemon Company. They really need to step up their game, I think. Like, yeah, flat buildings? Bruh. Come on, what year is it? I don't know. I think you Pokemon fans deserve so much better. Love that picture, says Mr. Face. It was a good picture. I wish I could have shown it in a little bit more detail. Sheepers! No! I might have to replay this level now. That's a shame. I think that there's at least one more health cloud, so I should be okay. Oh my. Alright, get out of here, Mr. Piranha Plant. I'm gonna go back and get some more yarn balls. In conclusion, the bashing is all good even if I disagree. I never got into Has-Been Hotel, but me and my community love tearing that franchise to utter shreds. I don't know what that is. Someone should draw that hammock photo with Yoshi and Baby Mario, Peach, and Luigi. That would be great. Honestly, that would be great. That would be great. Someone get on that, honestly. That's a great idea. And if someone did, I would absolutely show it to my son. He would be so happy. Oh, peak song, says Solar Flare. Yeah, you came back at just the right moment. Okay, yeah, we're good on health, I think. I think. Welcome back, Cozy Yoshi and Justin. I was excited for ZA after not buying a Pokemon game for over a decade, and then I learned there's almost nothing to do in the singular city you get to play in except battle. This is Aurora. That does sound like a sad realization. Again, I'm not invested in Pokemon. Overall, Pokemon doesn't really interest me, so, you know, no surprise that the ZA game didn't either. I don't know, like, were I into Pokemon, maybe I would have different thoughts on it, but, you know, I'm kind of just apathetic towards the whole thing. I feel really bad for the Pokemon Company devs, to be honest. They're probably not treated very nicely. Yeah, probably not. I mean, isn't it like a yearly release? Like, it feels like a lot of their games are so rushed. I'm sure that the employees are under crunch circumstances, you know? Which obviously isn't great. So no, I harbor no ill will towards the devs themselves, like the people on the ground actually making the game. But, you know, it's kind of like, oh, I hate to compare it to Call of Duty. Maybe the more apt analogy is Sonic. Like, Sonic games are so often so rushed just because they need to shovel a game out the door. And so often you can absolutely tell how rushed they are. Sonic 06 obviously being the main example. I feel like Pokemon games are a similar sort of situation. They feel the need to rush the game to get it ready for launch around, like, you know, holiday season, right? Just so that they have a product on shelves for people to buy. After all, it is the highest grossing IP in the entire world. And that's including anything from Disney, which is insanity. Like, I can't stress enough how big Pokemon is to be shoveling stuff out the door like that and have their games looking like they do. It's kind of just embarrassing for the Pokemon Company. But people still buy it because, hey, it's Pokemon. You know? And there have even been people like who very publicly boycotted the games, and it had absolutely no effect. Like, well, okay, it had an effect. That set of games became like the highest grossing or the highest selling games in the whole franchise. So, yeah. Boycotts, hooray. I don't think anything's really going to change unless people really stop buying their games in droves. Until then, well, you Pokemon fans are going to get a lot less than you deserve. I've only really known about Pokemon because I used to watch the anime series as a kid, says Mr. Face. Gotta catch 'em all. ZA came out like 3 or so years after the last game, which, if I'm not wrong, is more time given to developing a Pokemon game than usual. I mean, that's because it's a Legends game, right? I mean, Pokemon usually shovels some kind of game out the door once every year or two, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I got so happy when Chikorita was one of the starters in this game, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. Speaking Greek to me. From what I've played so far, ZA is pretty fun, but totally understandable to be bummed out about only having one city. It should have had all of Kalos, says Brainpick. Again, yeah, gibberish to me. 100%, yeah, I've heard crunch culture is common in Japan. What do you think of the Sonic 06 of... What do you think the Sonic 06 of Pokemon is? Oh, it's gotta be one of the Switch games, right? Like, I saw so many videos of, like, just abrupt, you know, black screens in the cutscenes so they wouldn't have to animate going into an elevator or something. Or, like, the battle animations being absurdly lazy. It's not that the games were that glitchy or, like, overall of a mess like Sonic 06 was, but... You know, I just mean more from the being rushed, and boy, yeah, I forget which one of those games it was. Leroy Jenkins, says Jacob. Jeff, I posted my fave doodle in the Discord. I grew up on the Pokemon anime, dude, says Drip Nova. ZA being restricted to Lumiose is one of the reasons my brother isn't even buying the game. Well, my brother Josh, by the way. Xeranos and Yvelta even obtainable? You said the meme wrong. What do you mean I said the meme wrong? How did I say it wrong? I said exactly what you typed. I don't know who this character is, Plush, but that's a good doodle. That's not very Christ-like of you. I don't know what that's in reference to, but good doodle. Back to the action. Such a missed opportunity to have Xeranos and Velta Mega Evo. That character is my OC. For what game? Or what? For what is it? Howdy howdy, says Joe. Welcome to the stream, Joe. I've only watched the anime and played the spin-off, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. And that's a reference to shenanigans between my OC. Okay. For Little Big Planet. Oh, okay. Do you not know the Leroy Jenkins meme? I do, but... Isn't it like, I forget what game it was, but someone just like ran in head first, like into some combat zone that obviously he wouldn't win, and he goes, Leroy Jenkins! I have no idea, like, the intonation and all that. It's been so long. Oh, and about Mega Starmie, I personally find the design funny, lol. Only reason why I like it. It was World of Warcraft. Thank you, Jacob. Yeah, again, anything Pokemon related, it's like speaking Greek to me. I have no idea. If it's not Pikachu, or like the big ones, like, you know, Charizard or Squirtle, or like any of the ones that are in like Smash Bros, I'm probably not gonna know them. It's my dad's favorite meme. Understandable. The fact that your dad has a favorite meme is fantastic. My dad is like, what's a meme? I mean, he's almost 60, so. Doop, 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 doop. Ah, that's so satisfying. I know like maybe 50 Pokemon by name, says DV. That sounds like a lot to me personally. Everybody wants to rule the world sounding track. This one here? Ah! My dad's is a memer. We send each other memes back and forth, says Jacob. My dad doesn't even have a phone. We've tried to give him one. Or a couple times. But he does not want a phone. He does not. I think he like purposefully lost them. It's not like they were expensive phones or anything. They were pretty, like they were $50 phones at the very maximum. But still, he just does not want a smartphone of any kind. Or even a flip phone. My dad does not want a phone. He's absolutely old school. Could you make a top 10 worst things list about Yoshi's Woolly World? Top 10 worst things about Yoshi's Woolly World? I don't know if I'd actually make a list about it, but I could try to think of some things. But let me catch up on some comments first. Drip Nova says, one of my other OCs, Lena, had a bit too much adult drinkity if you that you drink on special occasions. When a form of it is mentioned in the Bible, some try to argue that it's grape juice. Says Drip Nova. Now I need a Silver Gunner rip of this music. Yes, the Shy Guy level 1 to the tune of Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Everybody wants to rule the world. J-Dog says, since you asked what Has Been was, indie cartoon turned Prime series, overly rushed plot, hollow characters, constant 18+ jokes, and defaces Christianity. Like, it's bad, dude. Okay. Noted. Have no interest in that. Mario Yoshi says, in before one of your kids becomes a Pokemon fanatic, and you have to memorize 1,000 Pokemon. Oh, I'm not memorizing the Pokemon, even if my kids are the biggest Pokemon fans. I will not. I'm not a Pokemon guy either. The farthest I've gotten in one of the games is the 5th gym in Pearl. Yeah, I've never played a Pokemon game. Was more so thinking, can you think of 10 criticisms? I probably could. Someone might have to keep track, though. I'll definitely point them out as we go. I guess one, while I'm thinking of it, I don't know that I'm a big fan of the transformation sections being like their own dedicated sub areas, as opposed to being incorporated in the level at large, like in the Yoshi's Island games. I don't know that it's necessarily a criticism more than just like against my preference, right? Like I'd rather that it be all in the level itself. It feels kind of just disjointed when they do it this way, like Yoshi Topsy Turvy. When I'm comparing your game mechanic to something in Yoshi Topsy Turvy, that's probably a bad sign, right? Like in my Yoshi's New Island retrospective, that's kind of how I described the transformation sections. So that's definitely not my preference. The one-way doors that I just went through, like the mini game or the transformation section, it's a one-way door most of the time, so you cannot go back if you missed something. The levels aren't super long, so it's not a huge deal, and it's easy enough to go back and replay the level if you did miss something. So again, not a huge deal, but still annoying. I dislike how many important items are hidden in collectible or in invisible item clouds. Really don't like that. So there you go, there's 3. A lot of the game feels a little bit derivative of Yoshi's Island, like many of the other Yoshi games before this one. Like, they want you to think of Yoshi's Island when you're playing the game, and this game is definitely no exception. So there's 4 right off the rip. And they're not huge deals. Like, Yoshi's Woolly World is easily a 9 out of 10 game for me. Well, okay, easily an 8 out of 10 game. Probably more like a 9 out of 10 game for me. So, I don't have a ton that I dislike about it. The multiplayer mode. The game is absolutely not meant for multiplayer. It's kind of a fun addition if you like the chaos of, like, New Super Mario Bros., for example. But, for the most part, this game is absolutely not designed with multiplayer in mind. And that's very obvious just from how the game is designed. Like the levels, the collision mechanics. Some of the later levels, especially like the Boo houses, really show just how non-multiplayer focused this game is. It's absolutely better to just go it alone. The amiibos. Unlocking the amiibo costumes is really freaking annoying. Because like in order to unlock an amiibo to you... Wait a minute. No. How does that work? Oh no, the palette swaps of the characters. That's what I'm thinking of. The palette swaps of the amiibo characters is extremely annoying to unlock and use, because like you can do palette swaps, but you have to go to the Yoshi hut, scan the Yoshi amiibo, save the palette swap version of the costume to the amiibo, go back out into a level. And I'll show this process on stream later, so you know I'm not full of it. Go back to the level, and, or go back to any level. Use the double Yoshi Exploshi sort of thing to get the character to show up, or to get the palette swap to show up as a character you play as for the double Yoshi Exploshi thing. Go back to the amiibo hut, and then you can play as the palette swap version of that costume. It is extremely annoying. So that's gripe number 5. There you go. I feel like I'm coming up with a pretty decent list here, right? But please don't misconstrue this as me hating this game. I think it's at least an 85%. Like, it's an 8 or a 9 out of 10 game for me. I love this game. But yeah, there's certainly some complaints I have about it. It's great to have a dad that loves memes. Another favorite of his is the Cornered Tom meme. But yeah, Jeff, I can post the original doodle for context if you want. Sure, why not? Mario Yoshi says, I've never played Topsy Turvy. Is it bad? I would say it is the worst out of the mainline Yoshi games. I don't know that I would necessarily say it's bad. It's like a 6 out of 10 game, probably, maybe 5 out of 10. It's pretty rough, but I also think that it has some good things going for it. I think it's worth trying if you have a, if you have a way to play it, I'll say. Easiest way to do it would just be via emulation. MGBA, or yeah, I think MGBA is how I played it on stream this last go around. MGBA has support for gyroscope controllers, so you can use that to do like simulate the tilting mechanic. Obviously, your best way to play it is gonna be on a Game Boy Advance. It's built for that system. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I would check it out if you're morbidly curious. Otherwise, you can check out my playthrough of it to kind of get an idea. Like I said, I wouldn't say it's bad. 5 or 6 out of 10, probably. To put a funny example into perspective, Lucifer, the vengeful monster who turned against heaven and fell, is portrayed as this quirky guy with so many cool ideas that the big bad heaven rejected. Respect to those who like it, but I could never, man. Yeah, no, that definitely sounds like something I wouldn't like. It's another kind of situation like, that's like finding a TV remote behind a refrigerator, says Mr. Face. Yeah, and I'm definitely gonna point that out in the video, comparing Yoshi's Island to Yoshi's Woolly World. Keep in mind, it has no bearing on the overall outcome of the video. It's just an annoyance that I have with the game. One thing I don't like about most Yoshi games is that Nintendo tries to repeat Yoshi's Island SNES. Woolly World is the closest they've gotten, though. You can't catch lightning in a bottle twice. Yeah, I agree. I look forward, I enjoy it when a Yoshi game is not trying to be a Yoshi's Island clone. Really, that comes down to, Yoshi's Story and, which at one point was called Yoshi's Island 64, I believe. And Yoshi Topsy Turvy. I appreciate that both of those go for something different, but they had their own downfalls. Hello there. What's going on, Nick? Welcome to the stream. Topsy Turvy certainly exists, says TV. Nintendo EAD hasn't made a Yoshi game since Yoshi Touch and Go. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see who's actually developing Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. I don't think we know that yet. I think it's fairly reasonable to assume that it's probably it probably is Goodfeel Games again, or Goodfeel. But it's not confirmed one way or the other. And I hope that we eventually figure that out. Nintendo probably, in very Nintendo fashion, will probably not have their name in the credits. But yeah, I hope we do eventually learn who made Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Okay. My goodness. Sorry about that. What time is it now? 12:30. Jeepers. Well, 12:20. Come here, you. Ow. Okay, maybe not. Maybe forget I said anything, Mr. Clawdaddy. The new Yoshi game doesn't scream Goodfeel to me, says DV. I mean, it's tough, because when you think of Goodfeel, normally you think of, say, you know, Yoshi's Woolly World, for example, or for most people, I would think, you know, Kirby's Epic Yarn is what most people think of when they hear, you know, Goodfeel. But they've also made a lot of games that are not in like the Crafted World, Woolly World, Epic Yarn art style, like games that aren't made out of like real life materials. They've got quite a few that aren't. One of their biggest ones, I think, is you know, Wario Land Shake It. That game had more of like, it's a 2D art style. I don't know how exactly I would describe it. Like the cutscenes are very like anime sort of style. Princess Peach Showtime was another one that didn't have like crafted sorts of themes to it. Bakeru. I don't remember the rest of the name from the rest of the Japanese name, but here in America it's just Bakeru. It was like Bakeru no Mameda something or other. Hang on. I can read the name. Give me 1 second. Bakeru Japanese title. Otogi Katsugeki Mameda no Bakeru Oracle Saitoru no Sainan. That was a Goodfeel game. Goodfeel has certainly done games that are not, you know, crafted sort of theme. So, for me, like, the fact that, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book doesn't scream Goodfeel doesn't necessarily mean they didn't make it. I still think it's a reasonable guess that Goodfeel is still behind it. But we'll see. Hey, a fellow East Coaster, it's the same time where I am. Yep, absolutely, my guy. East Coast, all the way. I like this music track too, says Mr. Face. It's all so good, man. It really is. I listened to the stage's music in Florida at the beach. It was actually magical. Oh, I bet, man. So much of this game's music is so good. Oh, there you go. I can see the context now. I understand. Back to the action. Keys Oast! Wario Land Shake It is phenomenal, but it's often compared unfavorably to Wario Land 4, says Aurora. I still haven't played like any of the Wario Land games fervently or seriously at all. I'd really like to, you know, change that at some point. Honestly, I have like all of the Wario Land games in my list of games that I want to stream at some point. But yeah, like I want to play them, and at that point I think I'll be able to tell you what I think. But right now I have essentially no opinions. But 4 and Shake It are probably the ones I'm most excited to play. I don't know how much of that is just the fact that the other ones are black and white, being on the Game Boy. But yeah, at some point I do want to play those games. I've heard good things about them. Like when the Mario games got kind of stale, the Wario Land games were, you know, kind of, you know, where Nintendo's creativity was really shining through. Don't skip out on Virtual Boy Wario Land if you do decide to committing to the entire series. Yeah, I'll have to do it in an emulator. I am not paying $100 for the Virtual Boy accessory thing. I don't want to pay $25 for the cardboard one either. Just Labo all over again. Also, 2 and 3 are color games. They are color games. I didn't know that. All the Wario Land games are really good, says DV. I really look forward to playing them at some point. I still need to play a Wario Land game. I want to play at least one before I tackle Pizza Tower, which I've heard is phenomenal, says Mario Yoshi. Yeah, same. Like, it sounds like that is very much reminiscent of the Wario Land games. I don't want to say, like, based on, because I don't know how true that would be. But, yeah, like, I've definitely... Oh, my. I hope those weren't stamp jumps. Or stamp beads. They are beads, by the way, not gems. You're telling me you don't want to experience the bleeding red of a real Virtual Boy, says DV. No, not really. Certainly not for $100. No thank you, please. Wario. Hurry up already! The Mario Golf taunt. Fantastic. I don't know if that's what you were going for or not, but that's certainly what your comment made me think of. It's raining beads. Hallelujah, it's raining beads. Give me that. I want it. The first game is very different from Wario Land 2 onwards, so don't let that color your view of the series. Okay, noted. I really do look forward to trying those games. I really do. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, and I feel like now that I've waited so long, why not wait a little bit longer and like get my live kind of like reaction to the games when I actually do play them. I think that would be a good way to go. That one guy. Beads? Are you serious? Is that a thing? Oh, the one guy, the one guy on my old YouTube channel. It's not a freaking bead, man. Yes, it is. Look it up. Yes, it absolutely is. Where's the screenshot that I took and sent to them? They never responded. I'm a little sad about that. Here it is. I said, hey guys, this is almost 10 years ago now, but I randomly thought of this and wanted to bring it up. I kept calling the currency in Yoshi's Woolly World beads, and you two kept telling me they were gems. But I have definitive proof that they're called beads! Here it is! Power badges. Exchange beads for badges that give Yoshi special powers. There's your definitive proof. They're called beads! Back from listening to the Silver Gunner rip, it's incredible and hilarious, says Drip Nova. Makes me wonder how TV mode is gonna work with Virtual Boy Switch. It sounds like it's not going to. Has Nintendo said anything about it? I think that they said that the Virtual Boy accessory is required to play it. I'm pretty sure that's what they said. Let me jump off here real quick. Aha, I knew there would be something up here. And it's important! I knew that was gonna be a thing. Jimmy beads, whatever, I call them Jimothies. Yeah, fair enough, that's kind of a running joke we've had here since Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World. We call them Jimothies. I don't know why we call them Jimothies, we just do, it's a matter of fact. Accept it or don't, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Yoshi is now a gun, that's right. The Wario Land one is definitely the most usual Mario-like, says DV. I really look forward to experiencing these games myself. I cannot wait to, you know, develop my own opinion on the Wario Land games instead of just being like, that sounds interesting. I really do look forward to actually having something interesting to say about them. I call score bubbles and LBP scrubbles, or scubbles? Scubbles. Scrubbles, where did I get scrubbles from? The beach track of Woolly World is very good. It's a shame there's like one beach level in the game, says Golden Guy. Well, at the very least, it doesn't have multiple versions to dilute the greatness, I guess. That's a reach, I know. What if Nintendo does Wii games on Switch 2 online, but they require a separate Wii remote and sensor bar purchase? Please, goodness no. Don't give them that idea, Aurora. Oh, please don't will that into existence. Much as I would love an excuse to have another Wii remote, it probably would be proprietary with the Switch, meaning essentially useless. Oh man, I don't want that to be a reality. I don't. But Nintendo has a bad track record. Oh man, what if they do the Nintendo DS for Virtual Boy for the NSO service? But oh, I could only imagine what sorts of. You need to buy a Switch 1 and like put it in like a DS shaped grip and put the Switch 2 on top or something like that. It could get bad. Virtual Boy on Switch was unexpected. It was. Speaking of Yoshi gun, I'm kind of surprised there isn't a Yoshi weapon in Splatoon as a kind of reference to how Yoshi vomited water in sunshine. We already have a hover nozzle. That would be incredible. All right, real quick. I want to show this off using this costume in particular. Watermelon Yoshi. If you didn't know, you can get palette swaps of the various amiibo or various costumes in this game. This is how you do them. This is how you do it in the Wii U version of Yoshi's Woolly World. It is much better on the Switch, on the 3DS version. So anyway, Yoshi Melon. Hello. We have Yoshi Melon. Weirdly enough, I really like this one. So let's go to the amiibo. Hold the Yarn Yoshi amiibo to the NFC readers section on your gamepad. So let me do that quick. All right. Save as is or change color. So I'm going to go ahead and change color. This is how we access the palette swaps. You can have the yellow melon, like a cantaloupe, I guess. Or you can do the blue one, which I think looks cool, but it's obviously not realistic. Whatever. Blue melon. Let's do it. Okay. Well, now I need to save it. I need to overwrite the costume that I have currently on my amiibo. So now I go touch it again. Now that costume is saved on my Yoshi amiibo here. And yes, it does have to be the Yarn amiibo as far as I'm aware. Okay. Hang on. Hang on. We're not done yet. Because in order to access it, I can't go to the amiibo hut yet and be like, okay, let's go get my Yoshi costume. Because the amiibo costume that I have currently in the amiibo hut is this one that I had before. So how do I get it, you ask? I'm glad you asked. I'll show you. So, in order to unlock this amiibo costume as a costume here that I can actually play as, I have to go to a level. Any level, it doesn't really matter which one. I always just do this one. And so what I have to do here, is now use my Yoshi amiibo. I have to hold it on the gamepad. I am now getting this amiibo's saved design as a double Yoshi Explosion. Hello. And now I can quit out of the level. You can keep this design in the amiibo hut. Overwrite and save. Yes. Overwrite and save. Hey, J-Brick Raid. Thank you very much. How are you guys? Welcome to the stream. Yo, W Game OMG. Heck yeah, dude. It's 10 years old. That's insane. We're celebrating the 10-year anniversary. Anyway, now I have to go back to the amiibo hut. All the way back over here to the amiibo hut. And now I can select the palette swapped version of this costume. That is how you access the palette swapped versions of the costumes in this game. And again, note that you have to use your amiibo. The palette swap has to be saved on the amiibo. If you want to use a different one, you have to overwrite the one that's in the amiibo hut by that process I just showed you. Every single time you want to use a palette swapped version of the costumes. That is incredibly annoying. Okay. Oh my goodness, they optimized this so incredibly in Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World. My goodness, I didn't know what blessings I was given on the 3DS. Says Trip Nova. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a lot worse than the Wii U version. So that's one complaint I have about the game. But ultimately, that's a minor thing. I'm just happy it's fixed on the 3DS. And that amiibo is super expensive these days. Jay Brick says, yo, what's good? How's the stream going? We're having a lot of fun here, Jay. Hey, thanks for the raid, man. I appreciate that. How are you doing? How was your stream? Mario Yoshi says, I remember when Etika saw the Yoshi's Woolly World amiibo trailer and thought there was going to be amiibo for every single costume in the game. Rip Etika. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he'll be missed. J-Dog says, since you've been playing this indie games recently, you know what series I've discovered? Little Nightmares. Have you played those? Oh my goodness. As an atmosphere guy, it's phenomenal. The first game is my favorite. I have heard of it. I probably won't play it. I'm not super into horror or even horror adjacent games. Probably the most horror game I'm going to be getting into is Luigi's Mansion. So yeah, no, I've definitely heard of it. I appreciate it. I'm glad people enjoy it, but I don't think it's for me. Hey Jeff, I decided to post something in the gaming channel. I just want to know if the ROM is running properly, or is my PC a potato? I'll check it out in a bit. You know what? I'll check it out now. Wait, let me see. I don't usually do videos, or I don't usually look at videos on my stream setup here. Tell you what, I'm just gonna. Can I mute it? Hang on. What the heck? Oh, don't mute my whole monitor output. Hang on. Hang on. What? There we go. Let's see. Yeah, I think that the fact that you're using an ancient emulator probably has something to do with that, Mr. Golden Guy. Absolutely. Let's see. Bra says, that's crazy for all of that. Sorry to ask about, shout out to Jay Brick, man. He's only 2 subs from his goal, which would mean a lot if your chat helps out. Well, if you guys feel so inclined to check out Jay Brick, shout out to Jay Brick. Thank you for the raid. If you like his stuff, go ahead and check him out. Golden Guy says, hey, oh, I'm sorry. I already read that. Fun fact, the people who made Little Nightmares also worked on Little Big Planet Vita, I think before they went on to make Little Nightmares. That is a cool little just so you know sort of thing. I love Little Big Planet Vita, even though I never played it. The story is absolutely phenomenal for an LBP game. Okay, real quick. My gamepad's battery is running low, and I'm not playing on it, but I do think I ought to go put it back on the charger, so let me go do that. I think I ought to get a replacement battery for my Wii U gamepad. They're easy to replace, it's just a matter of me buying one. Apparently it like doubles the battery life of the Wii U gamepad, which is great because the gamepad battery really sucks. Okay. Oh, just for anybody who tuned into the stream a little later, I am using an 8-bit DOE SNES SN30 Pro controller for this stream series. Or at least for this stream. I just felt like, you know, it feels right. I really like the SNES style controller for Yoshi games just because, well, of Yoshi's Island, frankly. I usually play on my Wii U while it's charging. There you go. It's one way to combat the whole, like, bad battery life sort of situation. Just play on it while it's charging. I mean, it's on its charger. Oh, okay. Yeah, normally I don't use the Wii U gamepad either. I just wanted to use it for the amiibo sort of showcase here. Which I think was worthwhile, because now y'all know how BS the palette swaps are in this game. Blue Watermelon Yoshi's Peak. I know, right? It's so silly, but I love it so much. It's such a pleasant color scheme. I mean, light blue Yoshi is my favorite anyway, so that probably doesn't help matters. Also, the fact that that is how you unlock some of the stamp gems or stamp beads. Ugh. Super unfortunate. Like, that was a Yoshi's New Island sort of situation where, like, you run over a specific section of the level and just stuff shows up out of nowhere. I hate that so much. Avalon, I'm not the biggest Little Big Planet Vita fan. I mean, I'm not in it, so what's the point? That and Carnivalia creeps me out. No, Carnivalia is the setting that Little Big Planet Vita takes place in. Interesting. I'm sorry to hear that it creeps you out, Avalon, and I'm more sorry to hear that you're not in the game. I want to rub my face all over this woolly world, says Strip Nova. That's a take. It does look very plushy and all that. Alright, I'm gonna head to bed. It's almost 1 a.m. It was fun chatting with you, and hope your channel grows, says Mario and Yoshi. Well, I appreciate Mario Yoshi. Thank you for tuning in and chatting. I appreciate that. Hopefully we'll see you again soon, friend. Have a good week. Oh, just an FYI, I stream every Friday, typically every Friday, starting around 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you happen to want to catch any more of these streams, they're very regularly scheduled, so yeah, feel free to check out more if you're interested. Jeff, since you saw my video that I posted on the gaming channel, why does the fact I'm using an ancient emulator is why the game runs so horribly? Well, I mean, you're using an emulator that's in a very much alpha-like state. Let's just say it needs more time to cook in the oven. It's not your computer's capabilities. It's the fact that the emulator needs more time to bake. Ah, that's what it is. No, I screwed up! Can I still save this? Yeah, I can. I'm good at video games. What's the worst Yoshi amiibo character skin? Ah, that's a good question. I feel like none of them are particularly bad. It's more just like some of them feel uninspired, especially the ones later in the game where it really feels like they ran out of their creative juices. Like there's a Hornet Yoshi, which by itself is fine, but like the level that it's in has nothing to do with hornets. The one that I feel like most people would say is Painty Yoshi, because it kind of just looks like a white Yoshi that got in, like, just happened to get in the middle of like a Splatoon fight. But I actually kind of like the look. Especially the palette swaps, but man, that does seem a little uninspired. Dang, how old is the emulator, says DV? He is using, I don't know what it is, but it's like the earliest version of the emulator that he could find. Oh. Again, that stuff just showed up out of nowhere. That's another complaint that I have, Aurora, if you're still there. You asked me if I had 10 complaints about this game. Well, this would be number 6. Stuff just shows up out of nowhere, and it's especially evident in this level. And it's all important stuff, like, it's the stamp gems or the stamp beads. It's the flowers, it's yarn bundles, it's all that good stuff. Just pops up out of nowhere. As soon as you like walk across a random spot. It's even worse than the invisible clouds. Because at least with the invisible clouds, you know to be on the lookout for them. With stuff just popping up out of nowhere, hello, you have no idea. Like here, at least it kind of gives me the clue, like, hey, run under these guys. But even still, it's BS. I hate that. 1997. That's the release date of that emulator? Jeepers. They said amiibo, not the base. Oh, I'm sorry. I am probably gonna leave soon too, Avalon. One more question. They said amiibo, not base game. Then again, that'd probably be harder for you to answer. I'm sorry, what? Oh, okay. What's the worst Yoshi skin in this game? Oh, they said amiibo? Oh, yeah, no, that's a lot harder to answer. Yeah, I don't have a lot of the amiibo ones, and I haven't looked at them. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I misread that. Kirby Yoshi is not that great. Let's see the Kirby Yoshi. I still have that pulled up. Time to control F. Kirby. I mean, what else do you really do with Kirby? I mean, he's just a pink ball. This looks pretty accurate if you ask me. I don't know. Doesn't have a lot going for it, but it's accurate. Back to the action. Also, side note about Little Big Planet, if you ever plan on playing it, there are collectibles that require multiple people to unlock. Oh, imagine having friends to play video games with. Hey Jeff, just know I am about to go live right now, and it's gonna last around 3 hours max, so it would be cool if you joined. Maybe I'll pop in for a bit and say hello after the stream. Yeah. Have fun. What are you playing? Or what are you doing on the stream, I should ask. For some, you can just use a second controller, but for others, you need two people. Oh, wait, hang on. I have I have family that I can play video games with. Just hand them a PS3 controller, and after we can plan about the controller, we could use it. We get to go that route. Yeah, that's likely a hecka outdated emulator if you're not using a somewhat updated version of it. I think that he intentionally used the oldest version that he could possibly find just to see how bad it was. Trip Nova says, I love Kirby Yoshi. He looks so stupid. For a few, you need more than two. You know, now that I think of it, my family has been playing, this, TMNT, the Ninja Turtles game, Shredder's Revenge together. Like, I decided I wanted to buy Shredder's Revenge earlier this week because it was on sale for 20 bucks for the Ultimate Edition, which comes with all the DLC, including the new modes and the new characters. And I'm like, it has Usagi Yojimbo, Miyamoto Usagi. I must have it. So, yeah, I wanted to get like the physical release, but the physical release is like $60 on eBay because it's out of print now. And it's like, yeah, I'm a big Ninja Turtles fan, but even I'm not going to spend $60 on the game. Nah. But we played through the whole thing together, the whole story mode rather. Like I'm playing on my own profile, on the hardest difficulty. I don't know if there's like, yeah, and now he's naked! Says Mr. Face. At least it's not as bad as Yoshi's Crafted World. But anyway, I'm playing on my own profile on the hardest difficulty. But, we played through the, game on the easiest difficulty with JJ and Sky. We played 3-player, and that was a lot of fun. So I guess if I had Little Big Planet, I could still unlock all that stuff. And someday, Shaden will be into video games. Right now, she's not really old enough to play video games. She doesn't really get it. But we like to give her, like, her own controller that, it's not connected or anything. It's not even charged. But we like to give it to her and, like, have her pretend she's playing along with us. So I think that she's going to be into video games when she gets a little older. It's going to be fantastic. Alright, the S level. Who's ready for this? Avalon, first major boss in the children's game. Remove his pants! Then again, my game has some of its own moments. Alas, a price to pay for being so perfect. Mr. Face, oh gosh, that beach ball one. Yep. They showed it. They sure showed it. Okay, so the S levels in this game are... I've seen them described as deliciously difficult, and I don't know exactly what that means. I do know, however, that they are difficult, and that I appreciate the difficulty. But there's a couple things that I don't appreciate about them. So criticism number 7. The S levels only have enough health in them, like enough health in these clouds, to get you up to full health once. If you make any sorts of slip-ups, if you get hit once, you are not finishing the level with full health. It ain't happening. And some of these levels, it is extremely likely that you will take damage. Extremely likely. Like, look at this. They're just pouring out of there. And like, oh, that's so annoying. So there you go. Criticism number 7. Once again, I want to reiterate, this game is like an 8 or a 9 out of 10 for me. So I love this game, but I do have some complaints about it. It is not perfect. Do you think she would become a Yoshi fan like Jeff or a Lara Croft fan like Sky? Right now, she's a Rosalina fan. Like, she keeps saying she wants to dress up as Rosalina for Halloween. And that's gonna be beautiful. Beautiful. That's gonna be adorable. Oh yeah, the beach ball stature. And there's a reason I said stature, and it's actually because of a hidden away moment in Little Big Planet 2. Okay. I can show if you'd like. I don't know if I'd like that. Yeah. I remember being stuck on that desert puzzle S level for an actual hour. I believe it. J to the P Moreno says, "Hey, happy birthday, Yoshi's Woolly World and Island." Yes, indeed. And welcome to the stream, JP. What did I miss? It's just text. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Just send it in the Discord, I guess. Do I want to know what I'm getting myself into? There we go. Got the Mr. Crochet hook. Nothing to see. Not much to read. Just implications is all. Okay. Sure, we'll go with that. I don't like dealing with these piranha plants. Ah! Woo! That was close. You know, if you wanted to cheese this level, it's even hard to do that. Like, you've got the badge that says, like, fall into a pit? No problem. Like, automatically lets you recover from falling into a pit. It's not as useful on this level as you would think. Also, I missed one! I missed one! Where is it? Where could it possibly be? That is the great question of our time. Oh, there it is. 4S made me want to rage quit, to be honest, as Mr. Face. I actually like that one a lot, but it was hard. These S levels are very hard. I think definitely on the upper echelon for difficulty in Yoshi games. Not quite as bad as DS, I don't think. But still pretty obnoxious. Ah! Ah! Okay, he's still yarned up. Jump on that guy! Yeah! Got him! Let's go! Just want to catch up on a comment in here. The special stage theme is so peak. It's one of my favorite levels. But sadly, some of these special stages are an absolute pain, even in mellow mode. FU special stage 2 and 4. This is Golden Guy. Understandable. Posted in gaming chat room in the Cord. I'll check it in a minute. JP says, it's nice to know Yoshi's getting a new game and movie appearance during this milestone of his. Yeah, that's awesome. I cannot wait for those. Do you think Mario Wonder DLC would have a harder campaign like New Super Luigi U? I wouldn't get your hopes up, Yoshi. Yoshi Daffy Duck. I really wouldn't. Okay. Let's see it. There we go. My magnificence knows no bounds. Big voice, but tiny stature. He'll give you some training so that you are finally ready to take on the Negativitron. Fantastic. Back to the action. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, I would not get your hopes up, Yoshi Daffy Duck, about a harder campaign in Mario Wonder DLC. Honestly, I would definitely keep your expectations in check, 100%. Because whatever your expectations are, I guarantee Nintendo is going to, you know, fall short of them. They have for every other Nintendo Switch 2 version of, or Nintendo Switch 2 edition of all these games. Even Kirby Star Allies, which we thought was going to be a slam dunk, honestly. So, yeah, keep your expectations low for that one, friend. Yoshi's Flutter in this game is a lifesaver. Same for Crafted World. Yeah, for sure. You can even gain height with the Flutter Jump in this one. I don't know exactly how it works. I feel like I can't do it consistently. But you can, in fact, gain height from Yoshi's Flutter Jump in this game. It's ridiculous. I think it has something to do with like throwing an egg at the, throwing a yarn ball at the right time, or eating an enemy at the right time. And note, when I say that you can like gain height in the Flutter Jump, I don't just mean like the boosted Flutter Jump that I love so much in these Yoshi games. Like jumping off of an enemy and gaining height from that Flutter Jump. No, I mean just like your normal Flutter Jump. You can gain height somehow, some way, and I don't exactly know how. See, like I'm gaining height here. I think it does have something to do with gobbling the enemies. I don't really understand it fully, but like something about, and I really don't want to do it here because I'm gonna doom myself, and like I've completed the level, so I'd rather I've not completed the level. I've not done it. All right, we're going back. I must find that flower. I'd rather not play this level again. All right, let me start chucking some yarn balls. Oh, you know what? It's probably right there. Ah! No! Whew! No, it's not right there. Huh. Maybe it's here? Jeepers, where is it? Where could I have missed it? Is it in that section, the red pipe? With all the shy guys? Probably. Please, no. Get me up there. I bet it's in here somewhere. I know where the last flower is. I think it's in here. Give me one sec. Yeah, right there. What kind of BS, you know? It's behind the refrigerator, obviously. Yeah, obviously, that's where it is. Obviously. Ah! Oh. So many shy guys. I don't like. There we go. It's in Mario's refrigerator. Avalon, you can do this, Jeff! Starts loudly cheering. I'm glad I have a cheerleader. We can thank Galaxy 2's infinite flutter glitch for starting this. Lol, says JP. Sure, we'll go with that. Hey Chris, welcome to the stream. How are you doing, friend? Still find it funny how a new Yoshi game actually came out before a Woolly World Switch port, lol. But a nice surprise. Yeah, I thought for sure, like, the best hope that we would have for a new Yoshi game in the next, like, year is a Switch port of Woolly World, which still could happen. But the fact that we saw a new Yoshi game get revealed before a Switch port of Yoshi's Woolly World was kind of nuts to me. Still, you're not gonna hear me complaining too much, other than the fact, like, I will complain about the fact I had to buy a Switch 2 just for that. But, you know, I'm going to enjoy it. So I shouldn't really complain all that much. And JJ is going to be thrilled. I think that might be the highest I've ever scored on this minigame. That was pretty darn good. Oh, here it is. Why did I think to look behind the refrigerator, says Mr. Face. I was so proud of that joke. And like the lead up to it too, like where I walked up to the entertainment stand, I'm like, where is it? And then I had like the 4 panes come in, like I'm looking in all the drawers, I'm looking under the couch, I'm looking in the toy bin, I'm looking in the china cabinet. Fantastic. I loved that skit so much. Oh yeah, I forgot. These weird mini games aren't in the 3DS version of Woolly World. That's the one I have, says JP. Yeah, I think that's definitely something that they improved in the 3DS version. Is the mini games were replaced with the Poochie run levels. Behind the refrigerator. Poochie only has 2 playable appearances, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. One of them being in Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World. Where's the other one? It's Mario Kart Tour, right? Plooch runs and I love him, says Drip Nova. That is fantastic. There's a flower in your hair. There's a flower in my hair. Mario Kart Tour. Yes, I had it. Let's go. I'm gonna go now because it just hit 1 a.m. Good night, Jeff and everyone else. Mr. Face, thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate you, friend. I hope you have a very pleasant week. Yes, I mean woof. Says Yoshi Daffy. Fair enough, yeah. Woof. Plooch. Not much. I have an exam coming in 2 weeks. Chris, I hope that it goes well for you. What is the subject matter of this exam? If I may ask. There's a flower in your hair. Avalon, I feel like you like that joke that my friend made in the volatile upgrade days. The mother effing pooch. Just so funny. The juxtaposition of cursing with such foul language in a very cutesy Yoshi game. Love that juxtaposition. It's so funny to me. Volatile upgrade Henry never failed to disappoint. I mean, never failed to disappoint. Never failed to impress. Never failed to please. Never failed to disappoint. That was me. I never failed to disappoint with just how bad my teamwork was. Ah yes, of course, why I didn't check behind the creepy hallway where 80 people went missing last month. Of course that's where my 3DS was, says Golden Guy. I actually have both of my 3DSs on my desk right now. I've been thinking about taking sometime in the near future and hacking my my new 3DS. Like I have 2 3DSs. One is just a regular 3DS XL, and the other is a new 3DS non-XL. And I hacked the XL and not the new 3DS. And I feel like it would be better for me to hack the new 3DS. And why not at this point? It's so easy. The grocery gag you made is still my favorite, lol, says JP. That one was fantastic. I love that one too. That might be the best one I've ever done. But I really like the refrigerator gag. Like, especially when you have young children, that whole situation of, oh no, the TV remote is lost, definitely comes into play more often. I love my kids, love them to pieces, but boy, they sure know how to lose a TV remote. I don't know what's in there. I'd better go get a yarn ball. The fact I don't have one right now. Everything related with digital business like brand, programming, and so on, says Chris. Interesting. I don't know how well I would test in a course like that. But I wish you well. I hope that goes well for you. I love mother effing Plooch. He likes animals. Says Drip Nova. I do love Plooch. My mom drilled a hole in our remote and tied it down. Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. There was a time there, and I don't think I ever... Well, I might have updated you guys on this at some point or another, but my kids lost the TV remote at some point, and so we couldn't find it for a long time. So we bought a giant TV remote with giant buttons that's meant for, like, elderly people. Oh, I was definitely right to go back and get the yarn balls for that one. Anyway, it's a giant remote. It's like a foot long and like 6 inches wide. It is an enormous beast of a remote that if the kids ever lose that would be impressive. But yeah, we did end up finding the regular TV remote. It was nestled very deep within the couch. Which, I'm surprised we didn't find it earlier, but we didn't, so yeah. It was just in the couch and we had no idea. JJ gets so annoyed with this level, by the way. Just because, like, there's the one switch, or the one section where you cannot get through unless you find the hidden switch that that deactivates, like, the sinusoidal wave of sand dunes. Oh no. I missed a flower. Oh no. This is it. I'll have to play the level again. There was a one-way door and I don't want to restart the level at this point. But you cannot get past this section unless you find this hidden invisible item cloud and hit the P switch. Like, you cannot get through this section without doing that. And JJ thought if he just ran fast enough, he would be able to get through it. And he got so frustrated that he couldn't get through it. I'm like, JJ, you gotta go look for the invisible hidden hidden red switch that you would have no idea is even there. Like, why would you even think to look there? But indeed, that's what you have to do. I don't know why that just spawned. I feel like it was because I killed the piranha plant. I missed one of those too? My goodness. Barnyalls. Do you ever wish that they let Yoshi use more unique voice clips for his games outside of his same ones from Yoshi's story in his games? I don't know, like, I like those voice clips. A little variety wouldn't hurt, I guess. But it's not something that I really yearn for, I suppose. Like, I like the Yoshi story clips. So, I don't mind that they use them so much. I imagine that they'll probably use some newer ones in Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Like, they showed... Well, they didn't show, but, like, they had a new one for Yoshi when he was, like, eating that fruit. And he was like... and something like that. That was horrible. But you get the point. I think, probably. I mean, that was a bad. But, like, he was very happy to have eaten that fruit. That voice clip, I believe, was new. But, yeah, like, I don't know. I like the regular Yoshi story clips. So, I can't complain. Alright, how many of these are stamp gems? Stamp Jimothies. Please don't hit me. Oh, no, 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 no! Okay. Oh, no, the P-switch does respawn. Well, just in case, let's check. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Hi, Jeff. Have a good night, says Adam. Hey, you too, man. Thank you for checking in. How are you? Can I ask that before you leave? How are you, friendo? Welcome to the 10-year anniversary of Yoshi's Woolly World. Adam, it's been 10 years since you, myself, and Henry sat down and enjoyed this game together for the first time. 10 years. How has it been 10 years? I almost refuse to believe it. JP says, true, and when Yoshi was platforming, they did use the story voice clips in the trailer. It'll be interesting to see if they have any new ones to showcase. Man, I missed a lot. How did I miss that much? Avalon. Also, for the record, I am not short. I'm twice as tall as the average sack person. Yeah, but sack people are the smallest craftings. They're super tiny, only 8 centimeters. I was about to say, well, somehow I beat it, but then I remember that I beat the game in mellow mode on the 3DS with Poochie Pups. Sorry, Plooch Pups. I do admire Mario Wonder for giving Yoshi completely new voice clips. They even got reused in Mario Party Jamboree. I did like those voice clips. They were adorable. I think it has been 10 years because the Earth has gone around the sun 10 times. Thank you, Aurora. Thank you for that introspective. Appreciate that. Accurate, though. The minigames definitely improved on the 3DS. Henry? As in Henry's Garage? As in Henry Garage, the internal name of Avalonia? As in Avalon's house? As in Avalon Centrifuge? As in Avalon Centrifuge from Little Big Planet 2? I think you're pretty much the only one I could even fathom who could take the name Henry and relate it to Little Big Planet 2 somehow. Hey Jeff, I decided to post another video on the gaming channel. It has the Yoshi Fanatic. Do you approve of the performance or do you disapprove of the performance shown here? If you can check it. If you wonder, it's a Yoshi's Island hack. I'd better check it then. Have you played any Crash Bandicoot games? Racing games, party games don't count. Racing games and party games don't count. Yes, I have played 1 through 3. None of the others though. I watched my friend play Twin Sanity. Cute bonus stage. It is. It is a cute one. It has a lot to do with the spirit who loves cute things in Yoshi Topsy Turvy. Cool to see bouncy pink guys from Yoshi's Island DS come back. Yes, and those are themselves a reference to the spirit who loves cute things in Yoshi Topsy Turvy. Because Henry is an early name from Avalon. I encourage you to steal that joke, says Aurora. I will. I almost assure you that I will. Alright, let's see it. Gaming chat room, let's see it. Let's see. Let's see, I should probably skip to some gameplay, huh? Oh dear. Yeah, that's pretty atrocious. Also, based on Mario Kart World's credits, another game with new voice clips, Yoshi's voice actor hasn't changed. Kazumi Totaka, very good. I like Totaka's performance. Avalon, Henry is my middle name. It's also the name of my grandfather. Man, do I miss him. He was so cool. About as awesome as me. Okay, so I have a feeling I missed something fairly large in the first room in the temple area, so that's mostly where I'm going to focus. Yeah, that is one thing I really like about Yoshi's Woolly World is wait, did I get that? Whatever it is? Oh, I don't need that. I got full health last time. Anyway, that's one thing I really do like about Yoshi's Woolly World is it took the improved collection system from Yoshi's New Island. It really improved on it. It makes it so the game remembers all of the collectibles you got, like every single collectible, as opposed to remembering if you got all of one type of collectible or not, like in Yoshi's New Island. But even that was like a big improvement over Yoshi's Island. Huh? What happened to my egg? Or my yarn ball? Hey Jeff, have you ever decided to watch the video? Do you approve or disapprove of the performance on that ROM hack? I bet I would approve of it, Golden Guy, if it was on a different emulator. Or a more up-to-date emulator, anyway. So it's not that. Have you got JJ to play Super Mario World? It's a blast from the day yet, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. I haven't yet, no. Oh my goodness. He's not as big into the older games. Okay, I missed that. He's not as big into the older games, I don't think. Part of it is they're harder. I don't think he's quite ready for that challenge yet. Oh my goodness. Guys, are you seeing the things that I missed? How BS are those? Anyway, at least now I can move on. I can move on with my life. Yeah, I don't think he's quite ready for the older games yet. Part of it is, I think, especially for the Mario games, they're just Most of them are a little too hard for him to play on his own just yet. He normally needs some help. Like, we've beaten Mario 3D World and Mario Bros. Wonder together. We're on track to beat New Super Mario Bros. U together. But he needs help. He's pretty good at video games, but he also gets very frustrated very easily. And I don't think that the older games, they're not co-op in the same way that like the New Super Mario Bros. Or any of the new Mario games are, really. Where you can play simultaneously with... Whoa. Where you can play simultaneously with someone. It's like you take turns playing the levels. So it's not co-op in the way that would be helpful for him. Like, it would just be me beating all the levels, then him trying the levels and dying. At some point when he gets a little older, I'll try having him play them again. But I don't think he's quite ready for them yet. Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World do have more puzzle levels, so it can be tricky to an extent. I feel like the platforming is also fairly difficult, too. That and you don't have, like, wall jumps and all the, like, modern niceties that, like, the newer games do. So, yeah, it's a lot more challenging, I would say. Not that I mind that, and not like I grew up playing those games. But I don't think I beat Super Mario World until I was, like 7, maybe 8. If you paid attention on the last video I sent, I decided to use a Windows Vista skin. How accurate is the skin? I didn't pay attention, I'm sorry. Yoshi can't even flutter in World, which is weird looking back, says JP. Yeah. Yeah, because like, in the next main series game that he was playable in, Yoshi's Island, that was like one of the central things. It's like, where did that idea come from? I love it, but I don't know where it came from. I could actually name a few games that have the first game syndrome, says Chris. Can you elaborate a little bit on what you mean by the first game syndrome? Like, games that you like go back to. I'm guessing that means like games that you go back to and it's like they're not as good as, you know, you remember them being? Oh no. But we're early enough in the level that we can just retry. Mario Jump is kind of abrupt in World. It is, but at the same time, like, it's the one that I got used to. Like, Mario World was my first Mario game. So, oh, okay, it was just health. That was the one that I really got used to. Like, Mario Bros. 3, in comparison, just felt floaty to me. So, yeah, if that tells you anything. I'm guessing Kirby not getting copy abilities is a case of first game syndrome. Sounds like it would be, yeah. Yeah, Kirby Dream Land 1. Did I even finish what I was saying about, like, first game syndrome, like what I thought it was? I think first game syndrome more so refers to first game in the series that have more flaws in their very foundation that future sequels refined and improved on. Okay. Where the first game is not as good as the others, or the first game is so primitive, but I can't blame the game. Yeah, like Metroid, or like even your first Super Mario Bros. I've often thought about how interesting that is, that, you know, video games are different from movies in that so often, like, the first ones are the worst ones. Whereas in movies, so often, the first movies are considered, like, the better ones. Like, movies don't tend to improve on the first iterations like video games do. Like, I find that especially in, like, kids movies and, like, more kid-friendly movies, I guess I would be a more apt descriptor. I find that so often they, like, find that people, like, general audiences tend to like the comic relief characters and then, like, really lean too far into them. Like, I think of Lion King. with Timon and Pumbaa. They really leaned into them in like they leaned into them in The Lion King 2, but not nearly as much as they did Lion King 1.5, which is where like the whole thing was about Timon and Pumbaa and just like their perspective on the events of the first movie, and just they leaned way too hard into the comic relief characters, and so often that's the case for like movies that got sequels, I find. Okay, this is a case of one-way door, so don't go this way yet. Advance Wars is a perfect example of first game syndrome. Okay, I'll take your word for it. First Mega Man Zero definitely has a bit of FGS. Okay, so does the first Mega Man. Even Little Big Planet has a bit of first game syndrome, mainly in that the create mode, but other than that, it's actually pretty dang solid and still holds up tremendously. Says Drip Nova. That's usually more so flanderization, says DV. Video games have an engineering aspect. Movies are more so just about how creative or entertaining they can be. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. That's a really good way to phrase that. That's a reason why you couldn't combine video games and movies together until the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie. The Sonic the Hedgehog movies are... Yeah. I guess I don't really have anything to say about them other than, like, I didn't like the second one. But I liked the first and third ones. Alright. I don't know, I think Timon and Pumbaa are the better examples of comic reliefs being leads, lol, says JP. Maybe, but I would still argue that, you know, Lion King 1 is probably the best one. Lion King 2 it's good, but it's not as good. Partially because it kind of leaned into that sort of comic relief aspect. Like, I just find that that's a pattern with, especially kids' movie sequels. Like, they tend to lean into the entertainment of it more than, like, I don't know. I hesitate to call them the good aspects of it more than just, I don't know. Like, the things that we associate with being good in those movies, like, don't generally tend to be, like, the comic relief. Yeah, like, the comic relief is enjoyable, but it's not usually why we look back so fondly on these movies. We're not like, oh, those movies were great because the comic relief characters were really on point. It's not usually why we look back on these movies with fondness. There's normally, like, kind of a deepness there that, you know, future movies in whatever series they belong to just don't have. Like, they lose something. Like, they lose a depth of character or relatability or something. They just, I don't know what it is, but they lose something when they're sequels. Jeff, you did it! What did I do? A good majority of people think the second Shrek is the best one. Part of me wants to say I think that too, but I wonder how much of it is to do with the fact that they introduced Puss in Boots. And I don't want the fact that Puss in Boots was in the movie. I don't want that to make me think that, you know, the second one is the best just on that merit. I still think, like, overall, I would prefer Shrek 1 if I didn't have such an attachment to Puss in Boots. I think he's just a cool character. I really liked his inclusion. And I especially liked his movies, especially Last Wish. That movie was so good. Oh my goodness. But overall, I really like Shrek 1. I think that one is, it's just really, really good. And then Shrek 3 and Shrek 4, I think, took a bit more of a nosedive. It seems like more people think 3 is worse than 4. And I haven't seen either in a while. Oh. Hang on. I'll get back to some more comments here in just a second. Maybe I'll just hang out up here for a minute. The first one was kind of meh, says DV. The first Shrek movie? I don't know about that one, fam. I really liked the first Shrek movie. Oh, do you mean the Sonic? You mean Sonic, don't you? Oh, jeez, I can't stand anywhere safe. I gotta stand down here. I was screaming when I heard Mega Man was going to be in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, says Blue's Cat. I can believe that. That's awesome. They have a lot of great crossovers in that game, as far as I'm aware. Definitely loved more for being a good video game adaptation rather than a good movie on its own, in my opinion, says DV. I can understand that. Yeah, for sure. If you did not notice from the previous videos I sent, I'm kind of fascinated and obsessed with outdated and horrible quality emulators. It's fascinating seeing the games run so badly, lol, says Golden Guy. Sure. I'll appreciate it from a distance. Didn't Disney make a movie where Timon and Pumbaa is on a theater where they watch Lion King in their perspective? That was more of like a teaser trailer for the movie itself. The movie itself is just Lion King from Timon and Pumbaa's perspective. Let's see. And I'm not even sure what the Sonic 2 movie was trying to do. I don't know either. I think it was really bad. Personally. I really hated the father-son dynamic that Sonic and like the main human character had. I really hated that. The wedding scene that was like 20 minutes long felt like it could have been cut out of the movie entirely and have lost nothing in significance. Sky liked it, but she just tends to like romance stuff, but even then it felt corny and cringy. I don't know. I really didn't like the second one. I believe the title for that movie is Lion King 1.5. Yes, it is, Chris. Yes. Kind of reminds me of how Despicable Me sequels take away focus from the girls. Yeah, that too. You made it, says Dripnova. Oh, the mole part, my least favorite. Personally, I just think that Shrek 2 is better overall beyond just Puss, says DV. I think that Puss being in the movie really just throws off my perspective. Because, like, I really like Puss in Boots. Shrek 3 isn't terrible, just kind of dull, says JP. I love the whole Shrek trilogy, 1, 2, and 4, says Tripnova. First Sonic movie, says DV. Gotcha. I think that movie gets way more hate than it deserves. Shrek 3? I liked it, personally. Lord Farquaad really carries the movie, in my opinion, and it sucks he doesn't get enough screen time. Fight me, says Chris. No, Farquaad was pretty great. That's the Lion King 1.5. Also, them in the theater watching it is part of the movie in some parts. Oh, is it? I guess I forgot about that part. I just remember that teaser. Because, like, parts of it were so funny. Like, also, how did I miss this? Wait a minute. No, I didn't miss this. I just didn't do it yet. I'm losing the forest for the trees here. I'm mostly just losing my spot because of the comments, but, you know, keep them coming, guys. I enjoy it. There we go. Okay. I should be good to move on now. Also, Yoshi games love their mole power-ups. I know! I don't know why. It's the worst one. I think it was Aurora who said that someone should make a ROM hack that's just Yoshi transformations, except it's, oops, all moles. Let me just jump up here for a sec. I'm safe up here. LBP 2 doesn't really have any comic relief characters as much as it has comedic moments due to the characters bouncing off each other. There you go. I can't really say anything else other than that because I have no idea. If Yoshi doesn't become a mole in the next game, 0 out of 10. You know, I wouldn't be sad if they cut out Yoshi transformations in total in the next game. I don't really understand the transformations. I don't know why they're so central to Yoshi's thing. Like, I had an idea for a... Oh, no. Don't you do it, guys. Don't. Don't. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted. That's what I needed. Anyway, this might be a hot take, but I really don't understand why the transformations in Yoshi games are such an enormous deal. Also, that yarn ball is just gonna sit there now. That's so funny. Anyway, I don't really understand why the transformation sections are such like a mainstay in the Yoshi games. Like, why? Why is Yoshi the one that just turns into random things? I feel like that would be Kirby's forte. Why is it Yoshi's? They're fun. Like, just from a gameplay perspective, I think they're fun, and that's probably why they put them in there, is like, you know, they're just, you know, something to change up the normal gameplay, right? But I don't really understand, like, thematically, why does it happen? Like, why does Yoshi turn into, like, random vehicles and stuff? I don't get it. They're weird. And again, why in Yoshi games of all things? Again, it seems more fitting of, like, a Kirby game or something. I don't say this to complain, I just think that it's weird. I guess they felt Yoshi needed some kind of power-up back in Island to make it different from Mario. Maybe. I guess. Okay, power badge for free. Let's do it. The only characters I can say are close to being comedic relief are Larry for his forgetfulness and quirks, Avalon for his overdramatics, and Clyde for his rather comical pessimism, says Drip Nova. Okay. And even then, each character has moments where they're taken seriously. I feel like that's like the best case scenario. Like, you don't have a character that's completely comic relief. Like, I think of Perito in Puss in Boots in The Last Wish. Like, he was clearly the comic relief character for that movie, but he also had some great moments. I'm gonna use Power Up Ground Pound, why not? The transformation in the Yoshi games don't even make sense in universe, lol. No, they don't, and I really don't understand. Like, they kind of make sense here. Because, like, Yoshi can be, like, even in just his regular form, like, he transforms somewhat when he, like, turns into a mallet to have ground pounds, or his feet turn into wheels when he's running, or propeller when he's flutter jumping. Like, it kind of makes sense there. But even then, like, I don't know. Does Mario make sense? I suppose that's a fair point, Vincent. Also, welcome to the stream. My boy Perito, I love him. He's so precious. Yeah, he had some stellar moments in that movie. Like, when he was first introduced, I'm like, oh, great. Here's the comic relief character. But, you know, then he had some really deep moments. Like, his backstory, he didn't seem to understand just how he had been wronged by his, like, I don't know, his brothers and sisters, I guess. Like, when he was retelling the story about how, like, he, like, I don't know, like, he was abused, I guess. But, like, he didn't even seem to mind or care. Like, he was just, kind of happy-go-lucky kind of character, and kind of just met every challenge with a smile. That's the, like, at first it was kind of just like, oh, he's the annoying, you know, comic relief character. Every movie needs that, you know? And then, like, he really, like, the standout scene for me was when Puss was having his panic attack. And no words were spoken for the majority of that scene. And you still understood exactly what was happening. Like, it was just portrayed in such a great way. That's an example of, you know, a comic relief character being, like, being done right, where you can still take them seriously. And, like, they actually present something of value other than making you laugh. That, I think, is the ideal way to do a comic relief character. It's not 2022 anymore. You're safe, Drip Nova. Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. I said something random. Death Note is basically Among Us. Okay. I love learning about all the vehicles through Yoshi. Car, train, helicopter, submarine, and mole. Yeah, mole. My favorite. My favorite vehicle. Because Yoshi's Island did it, and apparently every Yoshi game has to do it. Yeah, you're right, DV. Death Note is basically Among Us. Does Mario make sense? I know everyone talks about this, but the panic attack sequence was a really great showcase of his strengths. Yeah, I love the panic attack scene. It's such a good scene. Again, essentially no spoken dialogue. But you just got it. You just understood. It was such a great scene. Okay. And with Mario power-ups, you can just picture them naturally existing in the world. Oh, the transformation in the Yoshi games don't even make sense in universe. The Mario power-ups, you can picture them just naturally existing in that world. Yeah, again, like, why are vehicle transformations something that's so prevalent in Yoshi's Island? A place that is completely nature-based. It's basically like a nature reserve. Like, why are there transformation sections that you turn into a car or a helicopter? What? Why? Like, at least they should have done something more like the fruits in Mario Galaxy 2 that, like, he gets power-ups that way. I think I would have been much more okay with something like that. I keep forgetting that I have the powered-up ground pound and I'm making, like, no use out of it. But this is a great world for this power-up in particular. Because all of the spiky dudes, I hate them. I hate them. It's not that I hate them, it's just that they're a little annoying. Well, that was unnecessary. The reveal of the wolf in Death Wish is actually not a bounty hunter, but rather an actual death himself is just great and terrifying at the same time. He was such a good villain. Oh my goodness. Death was an incredible villain in that movie. Genuinely terrifying at some parts. And you could like understand why Puss was so terrified. And like, just like the foreshadowing of it too. Well, maybe not foreshadowing. You know what? The foreshadowing too, because like, you could look back at some of the scenes, like even the one where Puss in Boots is fighting the giant. If you look closely in the scene, you can see the wolf character, Death, is in the crowd watching Puss. Like, you see him at various points in the movie before you even meet him in the movie. So good. So good. That movie was just incredibly well done. Oh, and I was gonna say, like, you know, at one point in the movie, Puss said that he had never been touched by a blade. And then in his fight scene, oh no. In his fight scene with Death, he literally gets cut. Like, you see the blood dribble down his head. And like, that's when he starts freaking out. The hair starts, his hair starts standing on end and all that good stuff. And it's like, whoa. Man, they just did such a good job with that movie, my goodness. It's a silly, kids movie, right? But it has so much going for it. What a good movie. Industrialization hit Yoshi's Island hard. You're not wrong. What about Umbrella? No, that's my favorite. Umbrella, the best vehicle. At first, I thought the wolf would be the main antagonist in Death Wish, but then there's Big Jack Horner. Him I got a little bit annoyed with, but at least there was a character that was just purely evil. No redeeming qualities about him. It just gave you the opportunity to hate a character for once. In a world where all the movie villains are like different shades of gray, it was nice to just have unilateral hate towards a villain for once. Dash Pepper Yoshi is so much fun in Galaxy 2. I think that's the exact one that I was thinking of, JP. Yoshi is a post-apocalypse world, hence vehicle transformations. Everything comes back to Everything comes back to post-apocalypse in the end, doesn't it? No pun intended. But it totally works in the end. Post-apocalypse. I'm so dumb. Oh boy. Yoshi is basically using a chain chomp. You're not wrong. While on the subject of Shrek 5 was delayed from December 2026 to June 2027. Why? I mean, I guess I can ask that question of why they're even making a 5th one to begin with. Dang it, now I want to rewatch Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, says Drip Nova. I mean, yes. We rewatch it, not regularly, but enough. We rewatched that movie quite a bit. I'd be surprised if Yoshi doesn't have a coma theory too. Yeah, when in doubt, coma theory. You know the answer. Money. Yeah, and the fact that they can come up with no more good ideas in Hollywood nowadays. There are some definite standouts, like, you know, Puss in Boots and The Last Wish. Such a good movie. I'm still mind blown at how good that movie was. It had no right to be that good. And yet here we are. Probably one of the best movies that year. Because Marvel, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. Probably to avoid competition with the new Avengers movie. Oh, is that what it is? Are people actually excited for that? I lost interest in Marvel a long time ago. Endgame is pretty much where I, you know, drew the cutoff. There's definitely a thing there. Yep. But Endgame felt like, well, a good stopping point. A good end game, if you will. For the Marvel Avengers. I think that's pretty much where I cut it off. Like, that's where I stopped watching those movies. I mean, aside from Spider-Man, I love Spider-Man. So, yeah, I'll still watch those movies, but the rest of them I couldn't care less about. It's a good thing that they delayed Shrek 5 since the critics didn't like the design of the characters. I didn't really see that big of a problem with them, other than they kind of just looked like more generic cartoon movies like you see nowadays, rather than, I don't know, the kind of more, I don't know. How would you even describe it? Like, oh no. Oh, okay, good. I don't know how you would really describe it. It kind of looks more generic than, generic, more Saturday morning cartoon sort of character look, I guess. I don't know, it didn't bother me as much as, like, it seems like most critics think. Or most critics, say. I don't know, I just not that big of a deal to me. Most of the standouts come from the Hollywood works, from not Hollywood works now. This is DV. Yeah, true. I'm back, let's be honest, Shrek 5 is just for memes. I mean, didn't they, like, show Shrek memes in that teaser trailer? I guess that says something about it, doesn't it? Avalon, and welcome back to another episode of Little Big Planet 2. Today I'm playing through Avalon's Advanced Armaments Academy for the 186th time. Sounds about right. Ooh, it's Orange Yoshi. Citrus Yoshi. Let's be Citrus Yoshi. I like Citrus Yoshi. The Day the Earth Blew Up is another recommendation. It's actually golden. First 2D film from Hollywood in years. Says JP. It says JP. It says J-Dog. And JP agrees. The Looney Tunes movies with Daffy and Porky. I think you recommended that before. I just haven't gotten around to watching it yet. Marvel gets too woke at this point and confusing with all the multiverses. Yeah, I'm pretty much in agreement with you. They lost focus on, like, an overarching plot that actually makes sense, and character development, and, I don't know, just good stories. And focused on other stuff. Sadly, Jeff, I think the audience is responsible too. Movie studios, and this goes further than movies, are rewarded to sticking to remakes and series people already know. Yeah, that is unfortunate that, you know, that's the that's the incentive structure we have for movies. And just entertainment in general, if you think about it. Like, it's not limited to just movies. Like, video games also play it safe so often now. And, like, so many of the things that people get excited about in video games aren't brand new video games anymore. It's remakes, remasters, ports. Yeah, you have the standout, like you've got the standout things like, you know, there are sequels to widely acclaimed games and stuff like that. There are new games coming out that people are excited about, but, you know, I feel like so much of the excitement in the video game industry nowadays just stems from remakes, remasters, and ports. Thanks to Lilo and Stitch's remake doing so good, that Tangled live-action remake is unfortunately back in the works, says J-Dog. Avalon, you missed a comment. I did? I'm sorry. Hi, I'm Avalon, the Avalon Fanatic. Oh, that makes much more sense. Okay. No, but Aurora, you definitely raise a good point, and I think that applies to video games and movies generally. I actually really like the realistic style the Shrek movies had. It stood out from the rest. Good point. Maybe that's what people don't like about the newer one, is it just looks more cartoony. I really wanted to read Death Note, says Vincent. I don't know anything about Death Note. I don't see the need to update the Shrek character designs. They didn't need to look more cartoony. Fair. Yeah, absolutely fair. Made a comment about Shrek's art style. Okay, yeah, no, that art style comment definitely makes more sense. I guess I just wasn't paying attention as much to it. But, yeah, no, that's an absolutely fair point. Like, the more realistic style is kind of what... It's kind of one of those things that, you know, the original movies, like, lean so much on that, you know, I guess it kind of does lose some of its character with the newer art style like that. That's a good, very good point. Just let that shell take its toll. I don't think there's anything else here. This is one of those levels that I feel like I always miss something on, so let's try and break that trend. Aurora says, like, even the people complaining about remasters, remakes, and ports are much more likely to buy those than something brand new, says Aurora. Yeah, for sure. And I do wonder how much of it, like, you know, like you were kind of implying, I feel like, or maybe I'm just reading in between the lines, but, you know, it's a two-way street. I feel like Hollywood is... I feel like they don't have as many new creative ideas now, and it just feels like they're leaning so hard on remakes and remasters and whatnot. Just because, well, they have nothing else in the tank. But that incentive structure of, like, you know, they know it's good because, like, you know, they're remaking something that's beloved. It's got, like, a good track record. It's kind of a guaranteed sell. And like you said... the fans are more likely to participate in buying or viewing or partaking in the remake because it's something that they already love rather than something that, like, a new thing they have to take a chance on. But I feel like that incentive structure, while it's kind of just there as like a natural outgrowth of things, it really is unfortunate because, man, you don't get standout hits by playing it safe. You don't get Puss in Boots in the Last Wish by making Shrek 5. Or, like, for some reason I'm thinking about some of the video games I've enjoyed from Sony. Like, you don't get a Ghost of Tsushima by just making another Ninja Gaiden game or something like that, or something that's been done before. Or like a Horizon Zero Dawn with its awesome story. Like, you just don't get that by playing it safe. So, like you said, it kind of falls on not only the creatives, but the fans as well. Like, that's just what we eat up. It's something to play it safe. and that's unfortunate. I wish that that wasn't like a natural thing that happened. Like you kind of pointed out, that's kind of just what happens. The incentive structure is there. It's like easy, safe money. Not to mention you don't have to pour as much money into developing something brand new. I think it's just unfortunate, that's all. Nostalgia is the main thing. I don't even know if it's the main thing so much as like, again, it's already something beloved, so you know it's gonna do well. Okay. Death Note is basically Among Us, lol, but with Kira being the sussy imposter. All of that is Greek to me. I don't mind the redesigns. I like them. Shrek looked more emotive, and I dig it. Apparently, the delay has nothing to do with the designs. I think it's just scheduling timing stuff, says J-Dog. It's an interesting take. Fair take for sure. I would call the Shrek style beautifully ugly, says Yoshi's Happy Duck. There you go. It's a good descriptor. The new Shrek art style looks different, but I think people were really over-exaggerating on how different they are. I think that's what I was struggling with. Like, they don't look that meaningfully different. Like, the eyes are a little bit bigger, I guess. But yeah, like the realism that JP was mentioning earlier, I think that's what more people were upset about. Now that, you know, that's been brought up. To be honest, in my opinion, the new Shrek designs only look slightly different, says DV. One word, nostalgia. Vincent. Puss in Boots 2's character designs were slightly more cartoony than the Shrek movies, but it wasn't too drastic. I think they looked great, personally. But maybe that's just because it wasn't completely tied in with Shrek. I don't know. Movie studios have gotten too rich and greedy, says DV. You'd say the same thing about pretty much any corporate companies and all of that. Yeah, like, greed is definitely driving the business. That's what Pixar got scared into. Pixar made a new model. One year they release a new movie, the next year they release a sequel. And it's back to back. Gato is the one new Pixar thing I have faith in. I don't know what that is, but I hope it turns out good. Avalon. Jeff, ask me anything! On the topic of movies, Avalon, what's your favorite one? And Sony Animation is kicking themselves because they sold K-pop to Netflix and they're taking in most of the cash. Yeah, there you go. That's another standout example of, like, you know, you wouldn't get this kind of thing if these movie makers and developers and all that weren't willing to experiment. Honestly, Shrek looks older, says Vincent. I mean, he is older. Now he has a teenage daughter. When you say Saturday morning, do you mean stuff like Hanna-Barbera and 87 Turtles? Yeah, I mean, Saturday morning cartoons. Like the stuff that's more approachable for the kiddies to enjoy, you know? Oh, so many hidden item clouds. Really stylish movie. I mean, was K-pop really experimental? I mean, I don't know. I haven't actually seen the movie, but I've heard it was very well received. It wasn't based off of an existing IP, was it? I think that's more what I mean. Like, it was an unproven sort of format. Or an unproven sort of idea, I guess. That's what I mean by experimental, I suppose. It's not like directly ripping something else or like remaking something else. Really stylish movie. Oh, made two comments about K-pop Demon Hunters. You made two. I think I already read them. I think it goes further than an incentive structure, though. We know if something doesn't do well, it's more likely to just be canceled rather than for them to care why it didn't do well. I think it's further than an incentive structure. We know if something doesn't do well, it's more likely to just be canceled rather than for them to care why it didn't do well. Yeah, I guess money talks. Avalon. Favorite movie? That's a good question. I don't know. If there was a movie about me, that would easily be my favorite. Fair. I don't know if the movies that have been coming out lately are just bad or if we're just old and prefer older movies. I don't really know. I don't really know. Like, it's hard to like look past your own perspective and try to be objective about stuff. Just in general, I feel like in general, like I struggle. I try to be objective, but it's hard, man. Like, it's hard to like look outside of your own perspective because really your own perspective is all you've got. Trying to like look outside of that, I find is very difficult. Drip Nova says, I'm gonna go now. Good night. Good night, Drip Nova. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you had a blast. I know I did. I'm gonna be done after this level though. J-Dog says, it's a movie with an oil paint look based in Venice. It's about a black cat working for Cat Mafia. He gets stuck with a street artist and ends up rethinking his life choices. Made by the Luca team. Okay, sounds interesting enough. Don't worry guys, the Yoshi movie will unite all audiences. Being objective is kind of just being subjective. Says DV. Yeah, trying to be objective is like, again, it's hard. Trying to put your own biases aside, it's a hard thing to do, I think. And I think we all should strive to be objective, but it's tough. And how do you know if you're being truly fair and objective to something? Like, how do you know that your own subjective sorts of feelings on things aren't informing your what you believe to be objective opinions? Like, I really struggle with being objective. I try really hard, but it's tough. Jeff, did you see the new Dono's Tale news about a Nodo's campaign? I didn't. No, what's the deal? Yeah, I just wanted to see if there was anything up there. Mainly because you can't really make an opinion on media a fact. Yeah, I suppose that's fair. Often it feels like it's support this as is, or your favorite series won't get any more entries, even if you don't like it. And then you just have to hope they listen to feedback. Yeah, I mean, we see this time and time again with like video games too. Like they pin the success and the future of a beloved series on, you know, something we may not like as fans. Like, you know, if this doesn't do well, then we're done. I feel like that was a fear for like Pikmin, what was it called? The 3DS one. I don't remember what it's called. Oh, Hey Pikmin, that's what it was. How did I miss 3 gems or 3 beads? What? How? I thought I was being so thorough. How did I miss 3? And I can't go back. How much do I care about the beads? I mean, I care. I'm 100% completing this game. How? That's what happened to Chibi Robo. Yeah, that one too. The awful 2D side-scrolling platformer for Chibi Robo that had nothing that anybody liked about Chibi Robo. Yeah. This must be what most movie reviewers must think all the time, says JP. I'm sure. The fact that Peach's voice actor did a different voice for the character in Showtime just proves the fact that Mario movie didn't need celebrity voices. Yeah. I've said my piece about celebrity voice actors before. Vacuum Blink says, my Saturday morning cartoons growing up were shows on Fox Kids and Kids, Warner Brothers. Do you remember the Fox box? Also, welcome to the stream, Vacuum Blink. Good old out of touch CEOs, says DV. Yeah. If CoComelon had a movie and kids liked it, never mind. Nintendo's tone deaf era. Oh, we have to fight this guy twice. I don't want to fight this guy twice. I mean, it's not that bad. Like, It's more just that I don't want to play this level twice. How did I miss 3? Seriously, what happened? What happened? Also, this music always makes me think that my phone is going off. It's like, it has like the sort of phone vibrating sound going on. Like, at some point in the track, it just goes, and I'm like, is my phone going off? Big Coops. Yep, our favorite. Our favorite Hookbill the Koopa knockoff. Yeah, that part. Yeah, it just goes. I'm like, hello? How did I miss 3? The biggest, the baddest. You know, the biggest, that's for sure. Noto's campaign will be more focused on combat and will be a prequel to the game. I hope Noto will have a bunch of melee options, says Vincent. That sounds interesting. I really do look forward to Dono's Tale coming out. Sometime next year, right? Like holiday next year? Yeah, stick with Citrus Yoshi. Apparently I like the fruit Yoshis. Mario Sunshine, anyone? Took forever for Nintendo to listen to fan feedback on Paper Mario. Yeah, and who knows if they're actually going to, like, you know, stick with that. Like, who knows if they're actually going to, you know, make long-term changes to the Paper Mario games based on the feedback. I mean, like, Thousand Year Door sold just about as well as any other Paper Mario game, but, like, didn't sell, like, amazingly more or anything. I need a Dono plush, says Vincent. Yeah, I think we all could use that in our lives, frankly. So, where could I have possibly... Ugh. Alright. Time to speedrun the rest of the level now. I blame New Island for the excessive invisible clouds, says JP. I forget how prevalent they were in Yoshi's Island DS. It's been a while since I played Yoshi's Island DS to the extent that, you know, I would remember such things. But, yeah. New Island... Even Yoshi's Story to an extent, but obviously not as pronounced. Like, Yoshi's Story was one of the starting places for Yoshi game BS, I think. Yoshi's Island really didn't have that kind of stuff. Fridge moment, yep. Yep. At least I don't even have to worry about full health. It's a good thing I don't, because I'm not going to. There. Mutually assured destruction. I like it. Ah! Gotta get completely battered by all these shells. There's a video by a 19-year-old on YouTube that talks about how Nintendo is so pretentious on forcing people to accept the style and/or gameplay changes to the series. Even if it's a horrific idea, and when it showed that it was a garbage idea that should have not been continued again for a decade, says Luke. I mean, again, it's not just Nintendo, but yeah, I hear you. Excuse me. I'm sorry. That was gross. Alright, well, I've got the key. Let's get the heck out of here. I have plenty of cute looking plushies, but nothing wrong with more wholesome plushies, says Vincent. I'm with you. With you 100%. Alright, let's go. Blink. Yeah, let's just keep on keeping on here. Yeah, there we go. Still got full health anyway. I mean, I haven't gotten through the boss fight yet. That seems a little bit preemptive for me to say, oh, I got full health, let's go. Yeah, let's go ahead and skip that. Mr. Huckbill the Koopa ripoff. And we have to fight this guy 3 times, so I hope you guys like him. If I was a developer of Mario Wonder, I would say easy mode Yoshi is a dumb idea. Ditch it. You know, I wonder if that conversation ever came up. Or if it was just like, yeah, no, that makes sense. Ship it. I can't really... Like I said in my Mario Bros. Wonder video, I can't really blame them. Because, like, Yoshi's moveset is just more diverse and more, I don't know, strong than the other characters. So it's kind of natural that they would make him in easy mode. Like, even if he wasn't invincible, he would technically be easy mode. Just because of his moveset is, like, it's got more options. Although he can't use, like, items. I guess that's one way he's not easy mode. But, you know. Yeah, you know. Did you check out that video I shared about Yoshi's role in Mario games? It talks about the subject, says JP. Yeah, I started watching it and then I got distracted. It's still in my watch later playlist, so yeah, I'm gonna check out the rest of it. You know, at some point. No, I'm definitely glad you shared that video. I definitely want to finish it. I kind of wish Yoshi was more like the Meta Knight mode in the Kirby games, rather than being in easy mode. Yeah, kind of like the stronger movesets, but still... overall plays similar to the other characters, doesn't have any like easy mode stuff going on with him. Just like a stronger character. But how are you supposed to balance Yoshi's moveset in this game that is much different from the other characters where the game is catered to everyone? Again, I think it would have just spoken volumes if they just didn't make him like not take damage, you know? I feel like that's the main thing. I'd be okay about playing as Yoshi without his moveset. If it means letting him use power-ups like everyone else. Especially with those designs that you made, JP. I loved those designs. With the Bubble Yoshi being my favorite one. Bubble Yoshi was precious. But anywho. Yeah, I don't know, like, if you take away Yoshi's moveset, and then he's just another Mario skin, I don't know if I would like that. I think I would prefer it if each of the characters had their own unique attributes. Thanks again. Peach is playable without the float, but it's not too weird. Yeah, but Yoshi's whole thing is like, he can gobble enemies, he can flutter jump. And I guess that's like the main things. But if you took those away, and like, how weird would it feel if they took like the Yoshi flutter jump and made it a badge? Like Luigi's scuttle jump. Like, I feel like that felt out of place when, like, any character could just do the Luigi scuttle. I feel like if they did that for Yoshi, I would definitely feel off put by it. I would just rather that each character has their own unique attributes. I don't know, like... kind of similar to, like, Rosalina in Mario 3D World. Like, she has her spin attack, but if you get a fire flower or Tanuki, like any power up aside from the super mushroom, like it takes it away. I wonder if they did something like that for Yoshi with like the fire flower and bubble flower and that sort of stuff. Like maybe I'd be more okay with it then, but still like keep his flutter jump. And maybe make it not so overpowered because it's ridiculous in that game. It really is. I think it would have been better if like all the characters kept like their Mario 3D World attributes or Mario Bros 2 attributes. Even Mario Run. Like, something where all the characters feel different to play as, instead of just making Yoshi feel like Mario. Elephant Yoshi would be a sight to see, says DV. Imagine Yoshi with the fire flower spits out fire instead of throwing it. That would be nice. I would like that. Kind of like his Mario Maker 2 appearance, where he can't eat enemies, he just like spits out fire instead. See, I'm liking where this is going. Like, coming up with ways where Yoshi could still be Yoshi and have his own moveset, while still being able to use the ability of the fire flower and the power-ups, and not having to like not take damage. I feel like they could have, not easily, but I think they could have done it. And seeing just how much effort they put into the rest of the game, I think that that wouldn't have been too much to ask for. I don't know. The way that it is right now, I can't complain all that much. You know what? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I'm the Yoshi Fanatic, and I feel like Yoshi didn't really get done dirty, but also didn't get the treatment that I feel like he probably could have gotten, should have gotten. I really don't think easy mode should have been tied to a character. It wasn't in Mario Bros. Run. I think that's what gets me the most. Is in Mario Run, easy mode was a toggle for all characters. Yoshi got the mushroom power up. Like, it should have just been that way in Mario Bros. Wonder. Like, there should have been something different done. I don't hate how it was done and how it is, and I don't think it needs to be fixed, but I think it could have been better. Yoshi had a small form in Mario Run, which is neat. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. The developers of Mario Kart will try to make all the Mario characters unlockable, and Mii's are starter characters. Miyamoto said then it's not even Mario Kart. That's fair, yeah. The only canon form for my drawing, lol. I do love that drawing. If anyone's curious, let's see if I can pull it up on here. I don't have an Instagram, but maybe I can still see it. Let's see if I can even remember your J to the P. I don't know if I know I put it in my like as a shout out in my video, my more recent video. Let's see if I can find it. Oh no, I didn't, because I don't put links in my description anymore because I got my channel deleted for that. Hey, JP, can you share that in the community creations tab by chance? I can't remember what your Instagram's name was, and I don't know if I could even see it on Instagram because I don't have it. I don't have Instagram. I'd love to share it on the stream. If it were me, I'd just make him be able to take one less hit than the others. Like, he starts in Super Mushroom. Excuse me. Just make him be able to take one less hit than the others. Like, he starts in Super Mushroom, but also can't take a hit. That's interesting. Like, getting rid of the small form entirely. That's interesting. That almost makes him hard mode. But at the same time, like... yeah, he has the stronger moveset, so I guess it balances out. Let's see if I can find it in my video. Like, I know I shared it in or I showed it in my Mario Wonder video. Let me check that. Videos. Alright, hang on. I got this. I can find it. I know I can. It's the moveset stuff. There we go. Found it. There it is. Actually, no, now that I'm thinking of it, this isn't even the updated one. You did an updated one. But this one was really nice. I really did love the Bubble Yoshi. These are great. Even Elephant Yoshi, I think you made it look great. Back to the action. Send it in Discord. Oh, sorry. I didn't even see your comment. Hang on, give me 1 minute. Let's see if I can open this image in... No, I can't open the image in a new tab. Here you go. Here's the new version. It's got the small Yoshi and small Nabbit. It's got Yoshi with the mushroom. I do love the fire Yoshi. That's great too. These are great. I love these. J to the PS Art on Instagram. That's the place to be. I don't have Instagram, so yeah, my bad. Demetrius funny, says Yoshi Daffy Duck. Yeah, I guess he does have his moments. I'd like a bubble flower. Lol, says Blues Cat. Looks like something that'd be in the game. Oh, back there. Turn on the controller again. Just because, not because I'm playing anymore. I need to be done. That art looks awesome, says Blues Cat. I agree. JP had some great concepts for what Yoshi and Nabbit could have looked like with their power-up forms, and it makes me sad that they didn't have that. But ultimately, I'm just wishing for something that ultimately will probably never be a thing, in Mario Bros. Wonder anyway. You can always hope for the future. But anyway, I need to be done. Imagine Yoshi spitting out bubbles with his with his weird closed mouth face. Oh jeez. Yeah. Fantastic. Alright, I really need to be done, guys. Do you like Donkey Kong Jr.? Donkey Kong Jr.'s not been in enough stuff for me to really appreciate him, so I Donkey Kong Jr. is kind of a, you know, I'm a neutral on him. I don't really care about him either way. Anyway, I need to go, guys. Thanks for tuning in. This was a lot of fun. Hope you guys had fun helping me celebrate Yoshi's Woolly World's 10-year anniversary. I still can't believe it's been 10 years. But guys, thank you very much for tuning in. If you haven't already, feel free to like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I go live or post a video. Feel free to join the Discord. It's the best way to get a hold of me. You can chat with me there. I love chatting with the fans. And, yeah. Lots of stuff to do there. Main things, though, in terms of, like, the stream. You know, you can recommend games for me to play. You can recommend music for the intro and outro of the stream. I picked it tonight just because it's Yoshi's Woolly World, and I've got plenty of choices. But feel free to suggest some music next time around. And that's where I update you when I'm gonna go live. Speaking of, the next live stream should be next Friday, starting around 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give or take an hour or so, or a half hour or so. We'll continue Yoshi's Woolly World. I'm looking forward to coming back and playing more. Also, at some point, I want to finally sit down and do my Game Boy Advance mod. Yeah, I don't have the case out right now, but my Game Boy Color, I modded to have like the Yoshi Wii Remote sort of color scheme, and I want to do the same thing with the Game Boy Advance. So I'm thinking about doing that sometime in the next week or two. If I do decide to do that, I'll let you know in the Discord. But anyway, I need to go. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully, we'll see you next time. Have a good night, everybody. Have a good week.